No, but listen to, did you hear the press conference of Seleke Kromah, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it.
We elect on 85 irresponsible men what happened to our country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Please place your left hand on the Bible being held by your wife, and you will kindly raise your right hand, sir, and repeat after me. All standing, please. I, Joseph Newman Boyka Sr.,
no secret now that your friend and former boss will be a candidate in 2029. With all of that you experience, all of that you know, and everything that you see unfolding in the country now, will you support him? Will you be part of the process? Will you give him the support? Do you think he can be a better president?
So why you want to bring political men in it or not?
Oh, but you political you're political man, before you go out, very active.
I plead the fifth again.
Okay.
When 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first. All men on board.
So, this riot situation when it comes to country, because many times you notice that
if Charles is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
On the Boyka's administration, we want to give the government of Liberia an ultimatum of 72 hours to provide a living barrier of the chairman of the Student Unification Party, or else there will be a catastrophic pneumonia in the Republic of Liberia. To arrest the chairman of the Student Unification Party, only because the government feel intimidated about the Vanguard Party advocacies.
The government got capital road, small road, B road, all kinds of place. I think the reason Joseph Baga will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
No, but listen to, did you hear the press conference of Seleke Kromah, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it.
We elect on 85 irresponsible men what happened to our country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
please place your left hand on the Bible being held by your wife, and you will kindly raise your right hand, sir, and repeat after me. All standing, please. I, Joseph Newman Boyka Sr.,
no secret now that your friend and former boss will be a candidate in 2029. with all of that you experience, all of that you know, and everything that you see unfolding in the country now, will you support him? Will you be part of the process? Will you give him the support? Do you think he can be a better president?
So why you want to bring political Ben in it now?
Oh, but you political you're political man, before you go out, very active.
I plead the fifth again.
Okay. When 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now, what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first. All men on board.
So, this riot situation when it comes to country, because many times you notice that.
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
On the broadcast administration, we want to give the government of Liberia an ultimatum of 72 hours to provide a living ballot of the chairman of the Student Unification Party, or else there will be a catastrophic pneumonia in the Republic of Liberia. To arrest the chairman of the Student Unification Party, only because the government feel intimidated about the Vanguard Party advocacies.
The government got capital road, small, that road, B road, all kinds of place. I think the reason Joseph Baga will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.
Has a country constructed? Question. Medical health construct. The government will cause the company to construct it. In 10 years, has the company constructed, not renovated, not rent, has they constructed a medical facility in a production area for its employees and the community? Question.
Well, what I do know is that they have health facilities in the concession area.
Let me ask my question again. Has the company constructed, answer what they have? The plain language here, they should construct. Have they done so? Question.
No. I cannot say yes or no.
Yeah,
but I know that they have offering medical facilities to their workers.
I know when you have something, I know when the law, the plain language of the document, the agreement, it said they may construct. It said they shall. If they don't do it, there will be cost to do it. Have you caused them to do it since they didn't do it? I said, what are they renting one place? They should construct. Have they constructed? Period. I mean, question.
You want to answer for me?
No, not for you.
God, no.
You're not representing them.
No medical there.
No. It's not even a new facility like a Medical 14 hospital. They do offer. I mean, the medical doctor who accompanied me when I went to Turkey. Thanks to him, he's performing a lot of medical services.
Yeah. Please. The question is as simple. It talks about compliance and performance. In 10 years, has B. Martin constructed a medical facility in keeping with the current agreement?
We'll revert on our question.
We value what they have. What I was saying.
Let's revert with what they have.
Yeah.
Come again?
Let us revert to what they have there currently.
And they got 3 years on the old one.
And then
Exactly the point, Mr. NRC Chair. If they got 3 years on the old one, it means stay at it, we can wait.
No, but the point I was trying
And we can wait on the extent on the
these amendments amend that
agreement before you, that agreement is still valid. It's still enforceable.
I got it, Chief.
So,
Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Chairman.
Yeah.
I want to get something clear here. We understand this document. This document says the people should construct a medical facility. If they don't construct it, there should be cost to construct it. If they did not do it on their own, what did you, the sector institution, do to cause them to do it in 10 years? That's the question I'm asking. So what guarantee do I have that they will do it if I give them 25 years?
Question. I just confirm that they constructed the structure there for the health facilities.
Constructed?
Yeah.
They constructed. So from their performance report, please let us have the tangible information. Because if you know you the sector institutions, for you to even say that here for more than 20 million and you don't even know what are they constructed, there's a problem.
No, Senator is unfair. We're telling you, we're aware. I just told you, I'm aware of medical. I've seen pictures of service and work done by B-Mountain doctors. One of the doctors helped me in Turkey. So what the minister was telling you, I have not been to that facility.
Mr. Minister,
yeah.
That's not your role to go to the facility.
No, yeah.
You know who should go there? The National Bureau of Concessions.
Yeah.
That is why we gave them more than 2 million in the budget to do follow up on implementation. Why are they not here? Only God knows. Why they did not do it in the metrics? Only God knows. So you can tell me what are they brought in? Doctors from Cuba is not a construction of a medical facility. Just one last question. On the subsequent hearing, we'll talk about education and other stuff. I got one elementary question. Maybe the answer will help me. Under section 15.1, Community Development Fund. 15.1, Community Development Fund. A, the company shall make the following contribution into a fund established for community development purposes. We call it a Community Development Fund. 1, contract year 1 to 2, a contribution of 100,000. It goes on to say, count 2, number 2, contract year 3 to 4, a contribution of 150,000. Contract year 5 to 10, a contribution of 200,000. 4, contract year 11 through the end of the original term, a contribution of 250,000. Here's my question. What informed these amounts?
Are you reading 2013?
Chief, ain't said they restatement that amendment and
Well, that provision was amended.
Amended to what?
Under the amendment.
Amended to what?
Amended to read that the company shall make an annual contribution of $250,000 into a fund established for the development of communities affected by the operations.
Very good.
Defined Community Development Fund. Then the Clan Development Fund. 4 clans are receiving $150,000 each.
So it doesn't take away the context of my question. So listen to my question. What informed a particular figure? So is the company taking 1 billion of our resources? Having listened to my colleague from Waterloo County, some of which I agree with him, I'd like to make it clear, and we give God glory for our return. Because presiding, our focus will be asking our colleagues to join us than before, is to place even more premium on the labor ministry. The labor-related issue in this country is troubling, We need to look at it. We must be intentional about it. The Labor Minister increased work permit fees, which in his view was the solution to the issues we raised here, by the fact that the Labor Minister, instead of advertising jobs, vacancies, to allow Liberians, qualified Liberians.
Domestic there.
No, this is not domestic. I'm not coming there yet. You know? So, one day, the thing I can tell you is the consultation will not be putting the microphone. I'm not using the microphone to campaign. I made it clear that 2029 is not in my sight. So what we must do here is for you not to be the laughing stock out there. We can create jobs and the executive give it out and then we're laughing and the poor insulting you every day. The Labor Minister gave out all the jobs. Imagine if you put 15,000 Liberians to job to work in the private sector. 500, 2,000, 300, 1,000, 10,000 Liberians got jobs in the private sector that we create. By the laws we pass, the concession we ratify. Imagine what will happen to the economy of this country. Imagine what will happen to the lives of our people. As we speak, presiding, I have good, credible information that cannot be disputed. That over 600 work permits just at B Mountain expired more than 3 months ago. And the people that are working on expired work permits. So most of them they are drivers, plumbers, electricians. No Liberian. No Liberian. We cannot create the law, provide the environment, ratify concession agreements, and we send out the Labor Minister, in my view, sell the job for work permit. And we think we're supposed to be laughing. I will not. I'm not using the microphone to campaign for politics. Since 2024, I don't have time. I'm weak, sick. 2, Mr. President.
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
I heard on you know what you say.
Yeah. I don't have problem. You gotta have a body. Which you want government, we can't allow. Another government, we can't allow. I'm sick of it. FPRC has been existing on Article of Incorporation. When it comes for reform, that's what we have. I'll be proposing, working with the executive of FPRC, to submit an act to establish FPRC by law.
As consultant.
So, the bill will be submitted in this quarter, in the next few days. Will also include for the legislature and the Senate, especially the people of the Senate, to review the NPA Act to bring it up to speed. Lastly, Mr. President, everything you do here to fight drug, as far as the people know, the legislature is doing nothing, let us know. Colleague, sorry, thank you. Liberia has one of the best drug laws passed by you, passed by us. But every time they get one trauma door outside there, they ask what the lawmaker is doing. Because the executive is not enforcing the law. So, presiding, in my closing, I'm also in the city, in the next 2 weeks. I'll be submitting a bill to amend the authority of Criminal Code D. Criminal Code D was established purposely with authority to fight armed robbery cases. The other criminal code in this country, especially at the Temple of Justice, the dockets are overflooded. So drug-related cases that go down the ladder of the docket because there are other cases. I'll be submitting for your consideration to amend the authority of criminal code D to give it concurrent jurisdiction over armed robbery and drug cases so that we can fast track the prosecution. We do all of these things as the legislature. If the executive don't prosecute,
you didn't have to look at the big law.
And the judiciary in sentence people according to the law, they will look at the law with on the legislature doing nothing. We say send people to jail for drug. They could send somebody drug related cases to jail for four years. When the law said 10 years and above. So for me, it's about reform, it's about us seeking to leave legacy. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, colleagues. Having listened to my colleague from also Royal County, some of which I agree with him, I'd like to make it clear, and we give God glory for our return. Mr. President, our focus will be asking our colleagues to join us as before, is to place even more premium on the labor ministry. The labor-related issue in this country is troubling. We need to look at it. We must be intentional about it. The labor minister increased work permit fees, which in his view was a solution to the issue we raised here, by the fact that the labor minister, instead of advertising jobs, vacancies, to allow Liberians, qualified Liberians.
Domestic there.
No, this is not domestic there. I'm not coming there yet. You know, so, one day, the thing I can tell you is the consultation will not be put in the microphone. I'm not using the microphone to campaign. I made it clear that 2029 is not in my sight. So what we must do here is for you not to be the laughing stock out there. We can create jobs and the executive give it out and then we're laughing and the poor insulting you every day. The labor minister gave out all the jobs. Imagine if you put 15,000 Liberians to work in the private sector. 500, 2,000, 300, 1,000, 10,000 Liberians got jobs in the private sector that we create. By the laws we pass, the concession we ratify. Imagine what will happen to the economy of this country. Imagine what will happen to the lives of our people. As we speak, presiding, I have good, credible information that cannot be disputed. That over 600 work permits just at B Mountain expired more than 3 months ago. And the people that are working on expired work permits. So most of them they are drivers, plumbers, electricians. No Liberian. No Liberian. We cannot create the law, provide the environment, ratify concession agreements, and we send out the labor minister, in my view, sell the job for work permit. And we think we're supposed to be laughing. I will not. I'm not using the microphone to campaign for politics. Since 2024, I don't have time. I'm weak, sick. 2, Mr. President.
1 minute.
Yes, sir.
I heard on you know what to say.
Yeah. I don't have a problem. You gotta have a body. Which you want government, we can't allow. Another government, we can't allow. I'm sick of it. FPRC has been existing on Article of Incorporation. When it comes for reform, that's what we have. I will be proposing, working with the executive and FPRC, to submit an act to establish FPRC by law.
This includes as consultant.
So the bill will be submitted in this quarter, in the next few days. Will also include for the legislature and the Senate, especially the Senate, to review the MPA Act to bring it up to speed. Lastly,
so that's it. You just listen to some clip there from Senator Abraham Dawes and other folks there from the House of Senate. So guys, welcome. We sincerely apologize for the long clip, but howbeit we are back on. This is a pleasant welcome to Truth 96.1 and the closing argument show. My name is Myean the Torgbean, your regular host and presenter of the closing argument show. Guess what, folks? Today is the birthday man himself on air, so that's why the delay in between. We have to settle one or two in the back. But howbeit, welcome. Today is my birthday, December 22nd. Today is my birthday. So whatever you following us live from, if you're watching on the closing argument page, if you are listening to us via radio, I'd like to say hats up to every one of you. That's the man, Prince, Yankun Prince, Freeman, and the man Reggie. All of you guys are following this broadcast. I'd like to welcome you to this special edition of the closing argument. So the reason why we play that budget hearing is because basically we are going to discuss tonight on the 2026 budget.
So the reason why
that's the reason we play this clip, so that you can know, you can get some of the information on this budget hearing. What are some of the senators go through in the House of Representatives, in the House of Senate, because the kind of noise we hear from the House of Senate, that when I say noise, I mean a mature noise, and then it's not like that in the House of Representatives. So in the House of Representatives, you just hear some lawmakers will just come together, and then right now, from now to 2026. The latest news we are hearing is the removal of the speaker and deputy speaker. So recently we heard that a few days ago they have a meeting in police academy. They are planning to remove the speaker and deputy speaker. So we waiting to see this next drama, to see how it's going to be played here. So we hope to see how that this drama is going to be played. Likewise, we saw former Speaker Fofana Kofa. This is how it all started with former Speaker Fofana Kofa. People overlooked it. People saw it to be something difficult. But now we are hearing it again. The number was around 22. Later increased to 25 members currently trying to remove the Speaker and Deputy Speaker. So because of that, the Speaker was in the southeast. He had to cut a trip short and then come to Monrovia. So he's back in town. So whatever information you are hearing on the social media or whatever on the radio or whatever you are hearing, the information is true. And then the member of the House of Representatives, they are trying to remove just certain number of people that are trying to remove the Speaker from the House of Representatives and the Deputy Speaker. So on Pewee, welcome. Mr. Pewee, are you hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you, Myean. Thank you for keeping the show.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
I think you are muted.
No, I'm mute.
Okay, I hear you now.
Can you hear me now?
I'm hearing you loud and clear.
Okay, good. Thank you, Myean. Thank you for keeping the show moving. I believe that a lot of things, and let me wish our very great followers and every Liberians a very Merry Christmas and a prosperous 2026. And I want to also take this time, Myean, to wish you a very blissful happy birthday. I know today is the day today.
Yeah. Today's the day.
We should have seen you beaming with smiles. And so today you turn what, 18?
19.
Oh, 19. That's good. You stay you in the final cycle of your teenage. You still a teenager, and that's good to see you as a teenager doing exceptionally well in terms of trying to create a career path. You graduated high school, you stay on course. It's a great thing to see in terms of the way you moving on. I just want to wish you abundant God blessings and the one successful career path moving on to what you intend to do in other things. But yeah, in terms of marking this extraordinary milestone of your life, we will talk behind the scene and the rest of that. But I want to wish you a very, 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 very blissful, happy birthday. And let me also take this time to wish His Excellency the President a Merry Christmas and a very prosperous 2026, Mr. President. It is my hope that 2026 will bring open a new era to the country, and that you governed. We hope and pray God abundant blessing on you as you steer the affairs of the Republic. We hope that in my thinking, nothing absolutely much was done to lift the people out of poverty in terms of creating jobs. We hope that, and that was a clear manifestation from the senator of the teaser you just played, some of those sound beats from the senator of Mosurado County, that most of even those jobs being issued permit being given by the Minister of Labor, most of them are folks that are coming from outside the country. So we hope and pray, Mr. President, that you have some time and pushing with your government to create more jobs for the people of Liberia as you promised, basically. So I'm very pleased that to wish you a very Merry Christmas. I know the Christmas is very merry from your end, and we hope that thing's going to change moving forward. Before we can start this program, I just want to take this time, Myean, if you can please put the flyer I sent to you this morning. We just want to pay a tribute to Councillor Jones, the late Councillor Jones. Councillor Myean, do you have it?
Yeah, I have it.
By any chance, if we can, if we can.
Sure. Sure.
We just wanted to pay a brief tribute to Councillor Bogomant Jones. Councillor Jones unfortunately passed peacefully on the 18th of this month. He was a great man, a councillor at law. He lost his life, unfortunately, at the JFK Medical Center in Monrovia on the 18th of December. There's a lot of things unfolding. The first family meeting was held on Sunday, yesterday, but there's a meeting coming up for the 27th of this month. I think the 27th will be the last family meeting held at his residence in the New Georgia Ophi area. So somewhere around the New Georgia Ophi market. So we just want to wish extend our deepest sympathy and best wishes to his wife, Mrs. Jones, and all of his children, particularly Love G.K. Jones, a dear sister, and other. We want to extend our heartfelt sympathy for the loss of Councillor Bogomant Jones, who passed, of course, on the 18th of this month. Unfortunately, but he peacefully departed this life, and may his memory be a blessing and his legacy be something that we always celebrate. So this is something that we intend to announce, and and we hope and pray for the family, particularly his wife, his children, during this very, very difficult time of bereavement the family is currently going through. So it's just we intend to do this in his memory, and that we in his loving memory and his legacy that he's left behind. I can recall when I was in the country recently. Then the counselor have just fell ill. He was admitted at the JFK, and I paid a courtesy visit to see him. He was doing well. He was interacting, discussing well, and he even went home. But unfortunately, it is the will of God, and we just want to send our deepest sympathy to the family, and we will all collectively celebrate his legacy and may his memory be a blessing to all of us. Thank you, Myean. You know, a lot of things. Yeah, Myean, thank you. A lot of things being unfolding basically in the country. I know there's a lot of some gossip. I've been hearing a lot of things today. I don't know, Myean, if you got any information about that the president met with the executive mansion reporters today. I don't know. That's why I saw some issue, and I was told the president have announced to the executive mansion reporter that they will be receiving $50 each for their Christmas, and quickly before the president and Massos, I believe Massos wouldn't lie to me on this one. And Massos said to me that one of his aides went to his ear and said, "Oh, Mr. President, that money too small." And then I will confirm it, man, if you got any insight on that. But let me just say this: and the president went to the president. "Oh, Mr. President, no, the amount is too small. $50 each for each of the executive mansion reporter." Then the president said, "Oh, okay, we'll increase it to $100." So I'm being told reliably that after the president announced $50 to each journalist assigned to the executive mansion, one of his aides went to him and said, "Oh, Mr. President, the amount is small." Listen, I'm saying this all of a sudden. Someone was saying to me like a joke. They said, "Oh, in there," but this is what unfolded. So if I'm wrong, please correct me, and then I will open it, retract the statement here. Then they said the president extended it to $100 per journalist for their Christmas and the New Year. By any chance, are you a member of the executive mansion crew first and foremost?
I am a member. I'm a full member of the executive mansion crew.
Did the president make the Christmas merry for you guys?
So let me come here a little bit, Mr. Pewee. Like you are mentioning, and then I was just smiling in the back because this issue, a lot of people have called me to verify. A lot of people have sent me text messages asking me about how the president gave out money, how the entire money was given, and what have you. So with this, it was on a Friday. It was not today. It was on Friday. The president, the press secretary, placed a text message in our chat room, said that the president wants to meet with us. So we have to prepare, and then our leadership, so that we can meet the president after the NOCA event at the president residence in Riyadh. So every one of us, the entire reporter, were all prepared, and then we went at the president's house from 3 o'clock. We were sitting there up to 7 o'clock waiting for the president to wake up from bed. And then when the president woke up from bed, we sat down for another 1 hour. And then when he came in, everyone welcomed him. We introduced ourselves, the very institution we from. And then it was how we bring forward our information, what we want the president to do for us as an executive mansion reporter, what we have experienced, the challenges and what have you. Our leadership outline everything, and then after we outline everything, and then the people ask us, "Is there any additional you want to tell the president?" So our leadership said, "No, we have already outlined everything." So all of what we outline, like we want opportunities. Some reporter who are in school who having issue, they don't able to continue that education because of some financial reach, so that the president can be able to help. All of that were mentioned, but unfortunately, we couldn't get any response, like positive response. Only thing we got from the president was that I've sent reporters out of the country. Some of them you see it to be like difficult, but it's very easy. But in this process, we cannot be able to help you out right now. So everyone was like smiling. So before that entire program, one of the reporters on the side, he mentioned that the president would give us $50. So everybody was like arguing, it's not possible the president look out and give us $50. So got you everything, the leadership and others, everyone was like, but what we expected from the president, we are not hearing it. But even though we are not hearing it, let's wait and see after March what the president is going to give us as a Christmas package or whatever. So the president announced it. In so doing, I will be able to give you guys $50. So the reporter started murmuring in the back. Everyone was like murmuring. So Kula went in the president's ear and said that, Mr. President, this is very small. And you have to increase it. So the president told her that you guys never inform me. So you guys need to inform me now. So the Kula told the president about your office assistant knows about it. So he was hiring into the office assistant that then he can brief me about it. So when the minister went and briefed the president about it, the president said, okay, no problem. Then maybe I can increase it to 100. And the $100, it was somehow Mr. Pewee. Because those who went there, all the people that went there, somehow set in place, not everyone were going to receive. Because when they checked the money, some people were left out. They ended up taking money from in a pocket to pay some people.
Conclude that one quick, then I will just probe you some.
Yeah, so after it, one bag of red left there, where the president said each person will carry home one bag of red. So that one bag of red was what the reporters were able to carry home. Some reporters were even murmuring how this is small, we cannot carry home, and what I feel. Some others, so some people even saw the rest.
Okay. Quickly, the executive mansion. So I didn't get it wrong somehow that it was further announced that it would have been this amount, but eventually each person got $100 from the president of the Republic of Liberia. That's a lot just from the president to executive mansion's reporter, the Association of Executive Mansion reporter, the press corps of the executive mansion. Quickly, what I wanted to know from you, Myean, before we move on, because we have to move on quickly. But before we move on, let me welcome our iron lady, the CDC lady, and the lady from Tomalin. Sarah Dopoh, welcome. That's the sister of my own dear comrade, Francis Dopoh. So also let me welcome the Reverend Dr. Henry Peabody. Dr. Peabody, you're very welcome this evening to the closing argument. You're muted.
My son making noise, I always muted for it, but he's not here today, so good. But it's good to be here, Sylvester. Good to see you, Myean and Sarah. Good to see you, man. Thank you for making them and for giving us in Liberia, and we wish him all the best. Good to see everybody, man. Good to see everybody.
Yeah, good to see you guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, Myean. I want you to put the picture back up, please. Is that the?
And I want to say happy birthday to you, Myean.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah. So this is the executive executive press code, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So many. You guys, do you know the number? You guys around 20, 30, thereabout?
We are 24 persons at that event. 24 persons.
But what's the actual number of the various media representation at the executive mansion? You think is it
that which I cannot confirm because it is within the press, the executive mansion press, like the presidential press secretary. She's the one who has everyone. So at times, some people they drop. Some people come, so they don't have specific number.
Okay, granted. Got you. So the number I did at this a gathering with His Excellency the President at the time was 24 Liberian journalists from different media institutions.
I have a quick question, please.
Yes, go ahead, please.
Myean, were there any journalists from Freedom FM?
No, I didn't see any journalists from Freedom FM, maybe with the exception of ABC Radio. That's the only journalists I saw there.
Did you notice any journalists from the opposition media?
No, I didn't see anyone from the opposition.
No.
But the only person the president.
Please.
Hello.
Sarah, I think yeah.
So like the only institution that they were pressing a little bit was Front Page Africa.
Okay.
Yeah, that was.
But you had other media. You were there, Myean.
Exactly. They were
you were there.
Exactly.
So you can't say no independent media was there.
Yes.
You were there.
No, she said opposition.
But quickly, let me correct that. People, can you put the picture down, please, Myean?
Yeah, put a picture down. Let me see the correction what people want to make.
Yeah, let me correct Sarah on this one. I don't think we have.
Let me hear.
Yeah, now I'm coming to. You're not coming to Miski, I will say. There's no opposition to media. We should call it independent. I don't know if you want to call it opposition. It should be independent, because if you say media cannot be in opposition, yeah, you can be in opposition as a political party.
Media can be in opposition.
No, you can be independent. The media
can be in opposition, Pewee. When the CDC government was in power, there were a lot of media opposition, media institutions that were propagating messages against the government. So those are opposition media.
They were independent media institutions speaking the hard truth to the government. And you see, when government is in power and the media want to be valid and critical, they refer to them as opposition. And something I don't want to say to because tomorrow it may come back to haunt me or so. So I would love to call them independent media institution. If they are opposition, yeah, I would love to call them that, right? We can be critical of the government. We are closing argument, but we are not opposition, but we track the balance. We can be critical.
But they are specifically, I mean, you're right. You can call it what you want to call it, but I would say opposition media,
Yeah, we can be critical one necessary other thing, but part of that is, let me just quickly end on this one before I can bring you guys in so we can start our discussions from different talking points today. Let me say to His Excellency the President, Mr. President, thank you for appreciating the press code signed at your office, the Executive Mansion. And let me also say to Madam Kula Fofana, thank you very much, Madam Fofana, for initiating a meeting with His Excellency the President to engage the media. It's important because the media, the Executive Mansion press code, do cover the presidency and report to the Liberian people. But one of the things I will end on quickly, I will think, I don't know, during the Charles Taylor days and the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf days, the press code of the Executive Mansion had a vehicle to enable them to cover the president more effectively, if you will. I don't know, Myean, quickly, if you can answer that in few seconds. Do you guys still have a press, the press code got vehicle to allow you commute while or follow the convoy while the president is moving about? Myean? Myean, can you hear me? Myean, I was saying something quickly about the press code. During the Charles Taylor days, the Ellen Johnson Sirleaf days, the weird days, but then there was this accident that the executive home got killed in that accident. Even the media days, So I was trying to ask you, is there any vehicle that's assigned to the press code of the Executive Mansion? Currently?
Yeah, we have a vehicle, but currently the vehicle is going through a lot. Even today, we were to be at the RIA, but because of the condition of the vehicle, we had to pay our own way to go. So currently, the vehicle
is not in a good condition.
Yes.
Okay. Quickly. So we will end on that. So we'll call on the press secretary.
Can you just say something that we end on it? Can you go around so we can give our views as well, Pewee?
Oh, okay. Now I'll end on mine. No, I'm coming to that quickly. I just before we can do that. Okay, we want to start with this, Sarah. Trust me, we're going to start with that. But okay, let me go back to you, Sarah. You listened to the whole discussions. You came in, listened to the discussion. We'll come back and go over our talking points for today. But you listened to the discussion about the first thing we started with, the president meeting the Executive Mansion press code, and then wishing them Merry Christmas and all the things. And all the things that Myean said, they offline to the president about trying to help them enhance their work in terms of reporting, performing their journalistic responsibility. What is your own perspective on that, basically, for the president to invite them, maybe give them something they think, and give them each of them a bag of rice, out of 25 kg bag of rice, and all those things?
I think it was a good initiative by the president, and I want to commend him for that. And I also want to say Merry Christmas to he and his family, and to the government people of Liberia. At this time, I mean, I listened to Myean, and I listened to some of the things that he said, which I think, in my opinion, as good as the initiative was, I think some part of it was kind of demeaning. Why did they invite them over there for 3 hours, sitting down waiting for the president to wake up from sleep? I mean, if they knew the president was sleeping, they should have timed it in a way that the journalists would not be able to sit over there and wait for all those hours. That was demeaning to them. And then for the president to wake up, and then some of the journalists did not get money. Some of them got bag of rice, and some of them didn't get $100 or $50, whatever it is. You know, it is what it is. Sometimes everything can be perfect, but I think next time they need to do due diligence by making sure that the president is available to meet, the journalists itself, having them wait for all the length of time. Number one. Number two, I think they should include some media institutions that are not favorable to them. I know Freedom FM, they don't like to listen to them. I mean, they don't like them. But I don't think any Freedom FM journalist was invited, which I think is not good for the country. I mean, if you're inviting journalists, invite all journalists, regardless of whether they talk about your government, good or not. So I just want to put that in there. I mean, but overall, I think it was a good initiative by the president, and I want to commend him for that. Thank you.
Dr. Peabody, you listen to this, right? You've been around in this media thing, talk show thing. The president of the republic call. We should leave the other one and look at this other side, look at that. But the president of the republic, basically via the office of the press secretary, arranged this meeting with the press corps of the executive marshal to appreciate the press corps. He listened to them and wished them Merry Christmas and all of thing, and even give them the little thing for their Christmas, something to just appreciate them for their job they do as journalists. Moving forward, you think the interaction with the president and the president doing that for the journalists, is a good thing to encourage the free press, so that the press will operate in keeping with freedom of speech and in their own journalistic capacity?
Hey, Sylvester, it's good to see everybody again. Let me say this. I think the whole process was flawed, because the president don't have a lot of press conferences, so he didn't even know his own journalists and all of that. But I think there was something that if you want to appreciate journalists, you should have like a little dinner and invite all the press, everybody at that dinner, the annual press dinner with the president, Christmas dinner with the press. They could have organized it, all these journalists come by, because these are people that serve you. They don't get paid. A lot of them don't get paid from the government. Some of them are independent media institutions. They don't make much. They should have organized like a little banquet. Let these people come there, have dinner, and then if you want to give them a little gift, you just give them that little gift and things like that. But the people coming to the president's house, he's unaware. He gave them $50. Then they say it's small. Then somebody go back and back him. And then he said, well, let the person talk to me. Then later on, he said, I give them $100. Then you bring rice to give them. I don't think that was... I think they should have organized it better. They should have treated the journalists with dignity and pride. Where they dress, they and the family come to the dinner. They bring their partners, come sit there and have a beautiful dinner. And then, you can give them the gift. But they treated them like some beggars in the store, people who are begging in the street. That's how they were treated, begging for money, because they had to go sit there and wait for hours to see the president. This was poorly organized, and I think it was not respectful to them at all. They were treated like beggars, like they want to beg for money. That's how it sounds to me. So.
Okay. Yes, because there are a lot of things we started getting from this. The first phase was the president even stated that he didn't know of this meeting. Probably it was kind of an impromptu arrangement. I don't know and then they have to engage the special assistant of probably the assistant minister for logistics from the Ministry of State to again come and say, okay, now we're changing this to that and all those things. But again, while we want to commend the president, and someone says something, we ought to, and that's one of the things about Liberia. Often at times, and I've observed this myself, if you got a schedule to see the president, sometimes you will sit, even if it is arranged, you are expected. Sometimes you will sit for hours to see the president. We agree it's the president. In other words, meetings should be planned. And when these things are not planned, that's a part of the reason why you see people doing what they engage with. In other places, particularly bigger democracy, bigger bureaucracy, they pre-arrange these things and assume the time is there, boom, because the president's schedule is set. The president should start work basically around, as per our time, we set the time as our time around 10 a.m. because the president will have to sit and read out a thing or so. So the president will go to work. But if the president is starting work by that time, or even it's the weekend, they should be playing. If the president is meeting the press corps by 10 o'clock or 12, ask the press corps to report by 11 o'clock or 11:30. It's already on the schedule, right? So 11:30, if the president is waking up from bed by, let's say, 9 a.m., he need to get his tea, bread, be briefed by whosoever. That should be set, and boom. That kind of president, they're moving. But again, for Liberia, it's a different ballgame. You will sit for hours, sometimes hours. If not lucky, they say, oh, the president too busy, you will not see you today, then you have to go. And you will all be going praying the other things. Seleke, welcome to the closing argument this evening. We have a lot of different things to discuss tonight, a lot of things unfolding. We're going to go, but we started with, if I would let you do your intro and just make a brief statement on this before we can now announce our talking point, then we get into the discussion. The president met this weekend, the past weekend, the Court of Executive Marshal Reporters, and to wish them a Merry Christmas. And that's what we're discussing. If you have a brief say on that, and then make an intro, then we'll move on.
Yeah, greetings, everybody. Good to be here on the closing argument. Merry Christmas to everyone. And a happy New Year in advance. So I don't know much about the president meeting status of the executive mansion, as he said, but I think this is a trending topic too on the internet. I just wanted to raise it. Maybe that can be my intro. So there's a group of young ladies that both Jerome Gayman and Moali took to the president, regarding Girls for Baka. They took them to have a meeting with the president, and according to some strong United Party supporters, they said they are in some chat room where you have different auxiliaries group that supported them, and they've been asking to have similar meeting with the president. And Moali and Peabody, they are both in a chat room. They've not made any effort to take the auxiliaries leaders to have similar meeting with the president, but no one know where the other group coming from. The Girls for Baka came from. They just put together and they went to meet the president. And one Glennis, I know Glennis, something she can be unspoken. She made a comment about it that look, we are not in campaign time. Yesterday we used to criticize CDC. I don't know, Girls for We Are. When the CDC was in power, and today you guys are doing the same. This is not necessary. And Moali came on her and started attacking her. If your children or your grandchildren were part of this group, you will not say we're sleeping with them, even though she never mentioned about sleeping with anybody. But Moali turned her whole post around. In fact, go as far as giving her WhatsApp number to some of these girls, and they started texting her on WhatsApp, disrespecting her, saying some things to her, which she shared some of the messages on Facebook. That's something that's been circulating recently. And as well as this morning too, Rennie C appeared on OKFM Clavin's show. He expressed how the UP people, they've been attacking, even being angry with everybody when you come and say something, and just similar to what Glennie was saying, she just recommended that, look, you are not in opposition again. You should not be taking campaign people to the president. You know, their citizens, if they want to meet, they can go and meet their citizens, but not girls for Baka, because these are issues that we condemned yesterday, you know, and you're doing the same. And Moali went, shape the woman whole argument and say, how those girls, you know, Glennie accused them of sleeping with those girls. And if Glennie's daughter or grandchildren were part of that group, and they were not going to say about that. And, you know, for me, that would be my intro because it's very, very concerning. Everybody on the show during the former government time, we one way or the other criticize, you know, a Solaris group, you know, the different CDC group they had back then, you know, wearing party t-shirt, going to work, you know, even government official participating in political rally, everything. We used to criticize it yesterday. And now Mo Alina want to defend. You know, if this is actually about giving young people an opportunity to go and sit with the president, there are auxiliary group and United Party people are posting, say we have our auxiliary group. We then ask him to meet with the president, you know, and Mo Ali and Jerry are in our chat room. They've not given us the opportunity, but we don't even know what the other group came from. You know, but that would be my intro and looking forward to a great conversation today. Thank you.
Thank you. We will log in, but we have an array of topic tonight on a serious note, and a lot of things unfolding in the country. There's report coming in. This report about another plan to unseat the speaker and the deputy speaker by a member of the Honorable House of Representatives. It's unconfirmed reports, and these reports is yet to be verified and confirmed. But some reliable source or sources from inside those inside the lower house have been speculating that there's this disgruntlement or disillusionment that is growing amongst lawmakers, basically relative to certain deed that has been struck, but particularly the deputy speaker and the speaker, there's this plan about trying to oust them. There's one side of that report. So we will be discussing that. But the first thing we have an array of things we're going to be going into. But I just wanted us to discuss this. It's been reported that the president of the Republic of Liberia had a telephonic conversation with his U.S. counterpart. And there's this executive mansion release indicating I will make my side of comment on that, but it will be after everything close to the next topic. The executive mansion reported that yes, the president and his American counterpart had a very wonderful conversation, and they reassure each other of a very wonderful relationship that has subsisted between the both countries for many, many years. Cyril, I would love to gauge your view on that the president of our country had a conversation. But before you can come in, let me say this for the record. So basically, we do have a bilateral relationship with the United States of America. Liberia got a bilateral relationship with America, and that relationship has subsisted for close to 200 years now, or close to that. Not yet, but close to that. And in diplomacy, if you were to engage in diplomacy and a bilateral relationship during this kind of a time, there are normal conversation of felicitation, calls of felicitation that will come from one leader to the next, right? And with the critical nature of things unfolding in Africa and into our region, there's a growing concern of the geopolitical process that's unfolding currently. And to see the world's most powerful country, the leader of the free world, placing call to countries to believe that stay allied to the United States is paramount and is usual. It's nothing unusual about that. Wishing to regular felicitation and all those things. So, but I wanted to gauge your personal view on that the United Party folks are now trying to beat the drum. That this call is something that is come to pave local rule, Grand Judea rule, or this rule and all of things. What do you have to say about the call plays, the call between the two leaders of both Liberia and here the United States?
Well, like you said, I think it's just something that, this is nothing strange. I saw even a letter that was sent to former President Weah when he was president from the President of the United States around this season. So I think it's just the usual protocol that the United States president does every time, the Christmas comes. So, but knowing the current government we have, they will spin it, they will put propaganda in it and fool our people and say, oh, because they had this conversation, so they come into Bay Road. And first of all, knowing who they are, we will see pictures of what, because the first time they said President Barker was talking to Elon Musk, I think they posted some picture where he was sitting there and the phone was to his ear. This time we didn't see anything, we just saw a release from them. So I'm not gonna, care myself for that, because I know it's all the propaganda is in it is to spin it around, make it look good. But it's just like you said, a normal thing that presidents do, and the president of United States will do around this season. So I think it's a great thing for our country, as long as for us to have a good rapport with the United States government. It's a good thing, and for the president to greet our president as usual, and I'm sure he did it to other presidents, which is a good thing. Well, I think the United Party should stop lying to our people in terms of spinning this story around and making it look like it's something that is going to benefit our people. They're coming to build. President Trump has told the Liberian people in all other countries that there is no free lunch. Let's get this in our head. He's not giving us anything free. So stop lying around here and telling the people, oh, he's coming to do this or he's coming to do that. That's a lie. He's not giving us anything free. That time has passed. That time has passed. Anything we get, we got to work for it. It's a trade now. We're talking about trade here. We're not talking about, oh, yeah, free, go take it. No, that's not it anymore. So, that's just my take. I think the government surrogates are trying to spin it, and which is not going to, hold water for them at all, because the Liberian people are not stupid. Thank you.
Good. Dr. Peabody, this just, I mean, it's part of the debate. It's happened before, even during the regular time of during this time of season. You see, even within the Liberian internal bureaucracy, you see agency, ministries, and high-profile leaders of our country, political leaders, prelay clergies. We wish the president best wishes and felicitation during the time of the festive season. You see these things happening amongst other non-state actors, if you will. Is this news that the president of the U.S. calling the president of Liberia anything politically for people to run with and saying? Because I've seen the executive marshal come over release, but the first shot of they only said that both leaders reaffirm commitment to seeing a more flourished relationship between our two countries. But the folks from the United Party spinning with this, running with it, and saying there's something. Is this anything unusual from your perspective, Dr. Peabody?
Well, Sylvester, this is something that have always happened. Like previous government did it, where if the president was to speak to somebody, when it comes to America or anything America says about Liberia, we jump. Liberians would jump. Liberians would celebrate. Liberians would say things. So I mean, we saw in the past other government when the president of the U.S. or something happened with the U.S. The partisans get out there and begin to share. Liberia is moving forward. Liberia is this. Liberia picking up and stuff like that. So it's nothing. I don't think we should hit the people of the United Party. I mean, if their leader had the opportunity to talk to President Donald Trump, the greatest president in the whole world, it's something that we can brag about. Or they can brag about per se, because you know what we hear about America. We saw when President Trump described President Barker English proficiency, when he told him how he speak excellent English and stuff like that. We saw we watched soccer game with President Joe Biden, and it was out there. Everybody celebrated. The citizens celebrated as well. So I think, look, I just see it at the moment. This is the Unity Party time, and whatever success, whether true or not, that the president had a conversation with the president of the greatest country in the world, I think that's something they're proud of and they're happy, because looking around us, we see the U.S. is banning a lot of countries from having visa and the citizens from traveling and all of that. And your president can speak to this guy, this very, very tough president, and have a phone conversation. I think they ought to be proud of it. And I think I think that it's nothing wrong with it. I don't think they should be throwing any jab at the Unity Party partisans. It's just the movement. You know, can you imagine how many African countries have been added to the list again? You know, your closer neighbor like Sierra Leone and Ivory Coast and other countries have been added to the list of visa restriction, some partial visa restriction, all of that. And nobody knows how to get to this man. My president speaking to him, definitely I'll be proud. I'll brag about it. So I don't think anything is wrong. They just, I don't know, man. They just need to stop that.
Great, Peabody. I think you struck some very important point just now, and that's why for me, I sit here. I would love to hear the hard side of things, and we can turn it the way we want to do it, say it. But you're right, with the kind of attention across the U.S. government putting countries on visa restriction, traveling ban, or all those things, and then our neighboring country, Sierra Leone, though, has been placed on a ban, right? And then the president of the free world is placing a telephone conversation to our leader. From that perspective, I think you struck on a very important point. That's a very great, and then that's a very great point. Back quickly, Tomalin, let me say welcome to you, Saint Tomalin George, the man from the Cotton Tree and Orange Grove. The guy from the airport, the guy said they got to be high here for a long time. So, but before I come to you, Tomalin, Seleke, you listened to the point Peabody that he reminded me of that, and I didn't want to be the one to say it. It's good that Peabody pick up that point. It's very important that in other countries are being isolated by the U.S. government in terms of restricting them entry to the United States of America, the world's most powerful country, and in other words, and the world's most powerful president, if you will, and the most powerful person on planet Earth, the president of the United States. Doing that, isolating other people from out of coming to the country or even not talking to their leader. But your president is being considered as a core place to him. Is that now a very good news that we all Liberians should be happy of and proud of?
That's a great news. I agree with Dr. Peabody. You know, most especially today, Abdullah Ketama did a post about same issue, and I kind of try to ask him, you know, but just based on that post today, I was able to, you know, do some research, and I got to understand that 73% of the West African countries are placed on restriction.
Just pick up quick. Go ahead.
So that's a good sound. It's a positive news, if only it is true. Because mind you, some part of last year or early this year, this same administration, and for that one, they bring out photos and all the posters here everywhere on the social media that the president had a conversation with Elon Musk. At the time, Elon was still in the White House, you know, and Elon Musk promised that they were going to bring some investment to the country, you know, almost 2 years now. Where are those investments, you know? So back then, they show us evidence, you know, where you could see, I don't even know it was AR after image or it was actually real, you know, I can't just do it. And
I was scared. That one part was scared.
That whole Elon Musk thing was complete AI thing. That's not AI was just started to testing in Liberia.
Good. So if you can confirm that, Sylvester, that something the president, the foreign minister himself posted on a Facebook page.
Yeah.
If you can confirm that was a scam, what more about somebody just writing on Facebook say President Baka spoke with the U.S. president, and you just want to believe it? And that's why I asked Abdullah to me. I said, did you see the phone call or you hear the phone call? And he got angry, say you're trying to be rude and dismissive and all of that, you know. But these people are deceptive and they cannot be trusted. And the last time, remember, I told you guys, you know, we Liberians, we have a lot of respect for old people. And Joseph Boakai is taking advantage of that. Because he's an elderly man, he is 90 or 80, whatever it is.
He's 90. We
almost 90.
He's 81 years old.
Okay, 81 years old. Okay, no problem.
Yes.
Fair enough. He is 80, right? So a lot of people respect him. Whenever he speaks, people listen to him, you know, in a kind of soft way, and they are taking advantage of that in a negative way, you know, because here is the thing. You came previously, you told us that you spoke with Elon Musk. At the time, Elon was in the warehouse. You told us that there was some investment on the way coming to the country. 2 years now, we not see nothing here. And today you just wake up all of the blue, you say President Barker spoke with US President. No evidence, nothing. You know, but even if, not forget about that one, that's true, you know, but even if that's true, President Barker spoke with, you know, US President. They should tell us what is in it, what is in our call. You know, but again, to scripting, regional, you know, international, biological, look at the executive mansion page. What are we getting from that cell phone call? If we're not getting anything, you know, that can benefit the lives of the people, just forget about it. Don't be bragging about it. Don't be boasting, you know, making all a big deal and all of that. So for me, that's my perspective. It's good that our president is speaking with the US president. But again, based on the people record, I can't believe it that President Barker spoke. Because let me tell you this, Sylvester, the meeting President Barker had in the US, where President Trump praised him about English, it was not President Barker one that was in our meeting with other African countries. Other African countries leader was there. But do you know that some part of this year, a few months ago, the South African president, President Ramaphosa, was invited on a one-on-one meeting in the US with Donald Trump? One-on-one. South Africa were not posting. I follow a lot of bloggers from South Africa. They're not posting, bragging about these things.
But so let me hold you there quick on that one. The reason why he was actually invited at the warehouse was not because there was a reason. There was a trap set for him to come to the warehouse, and then the Trump administration believed the white community were being targeted by the South African government, particularly those in government were trying to push some level of racist actions or things against the white minority and all things. So that's why he granted them open room to grant them asylum here and from the Afrikaners group and all those things. So the intent of that invitation was basically that to express his own outrage about the way they are treating white South Africans, the white minorities of Africans. That's part of the reason why he was. So, and so most of the South Africans in the media group, they were not happy at the way the president got treated here at the warehouse and all those things. So that is quite different from the way the president then described the relationship of the outspoken nature of our own president, and then moving forward, the way Ambassador Boycott also described gave some kind word to him. Now, with this statement coming up, and I'm just only in 1 minute, you will wrap them with too many. With this statement, the executive mansion is coming over a press release, so that I got no reason to doubt this. Executive mansion will never come over a press release to know the U.S. embassy is there, and it will come and counter if that is not true. No, in diplomacy, they won't do that. I've worked with the foreign ministry before. If you saw the executive mansion saying that, there was indeed a conversation between the two presidents. There was a conversation between the two presidents. There's no reason the executive mansion is going to lie. When the embassy, if it is not true, the embassy will come say the president didn't speak to our president.
Okay,
so I want to make that clarity before you move on. But you can wrap up in 1 minute, please.
First of all, you talk about the executive mansion will not come out and say executive mansion came up and told the Liberian people that there was a scholarship opportunity for Liberians to go to.
That's
the
a
US.
Different thing than talking to the U.S. president.
No, I'm coming about. But that's the same thing. They told us that Liberian students were going to go to the U.S. to go and study.
Okay.
On a scholarship basis, where they pay money, they were almost all the people that applied, they were rejected. None of them went to the U.S. The executive mansion posted that. The executive mansion posted about the 4 years something here, and Joseph Boakai came and told us that he was not in the know about the project. So many things the executive, even that Elon Musk call, you just clarified now that it was fake. The executive mansion posted that President Boakai had a phone call with Elon Musk and there was investment coming to Liberia.
Fair enough. There's other reasons that you want to say that because the bank gave
people that are scammers. You don't
verify other things. Too many.
Point of view.
Too many. I will come back to you and in this line. Yourself been making some very authentic efforts in engaging the country from different political spheres, if you will. particularly you were privileged in recent time to have met with the Dean of the Cabinet and the Chief and the chief diplomat of the country, the foreign minister of the Republic of Liberia. You engage her perspective as to things that are unfolding from the international scene. Do you think this call from the U.S. president to the president of Liberia, do you think is a very great public diplomacy?
First, let me say thanks again. It's good to be back on this show. Yeah, I'm laughing because some kind of post going on about Tomalin George. So, but I tell people you don't play no man, but that's that part of the price we can pay. You know, when you're in this.
We're gonna post going on. Why is that? Why is that? That's something that we should know.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's something I think I told you about it. But let's move on. It was okay. So, but I don't give it no credence. But again, that's why we pay when you're in this space. You expect people to just take something.
Where you come from with your pink glasses?
But besides that, look, I'm okay. But I want to say it's a good thing to be on the show, especially this time of the year.
The most.
Thanks. It's the most wonderful time of the year. It's my best time of the year. And it's a season greetings where peace on earth and goodwill towards all mankind. Time
Amen.
So, but anyway, look, that's what was the executive mansion. They came out with that release. You cannot doubt them. They will not come up with such a release. I mean, I believe the call did take place, and it's a random. At this time of the year, they usually do these things. The president asked the president to just make these calls and just talk and so forth. And because our country politics is so toxic, and because of how we do our politics, so we take everything, we make it big or take it for granted. So that's why you see the argument debates on the social media with all that. The fact of the matter is that, especially knowing that Trump, he's the leader of the free world, calling President Boakai. I mean, it's a big deal for the government, the Unity Party partisans. They should celebrate it, because it's a big deal. But you will know if you go on a White House website, usually if there's some top calls, you will find that there's a readout of the call. That when President Trump talks to Putin or Netanyahu or like Zelensky, all these guys, even the Egyptian president, one of America's top allies, usually it's like a write-off. You should go on the website to see it, and they tell the importance of the call. But I won't take it from the UP. There's the moment for them to celebrate it. Yes, when President Weah spoke to Trump a few years ago, Tidishan were excited too, made a big deal of it too. So that's why the politics looking. The two parties like IE and Barrow always back and forth. That's why they have come to. So, but I mean, the call did take place. I tried to reach out to somebody at the foreign ministry and they confirm it. I believe it too, even as executive management. I believe it too. But move on. The issue is that, I mean, for the fact that Liberia is still in the news, don't forget there were 19 countries that were recently given some sanctions, indirectly sanctioned. Liberia was not part of it, So for the fact that Liberia is in the name of in Trump, his situation favors all some kind of way, it's a good deal for our country. I'm happy that we see that happening. So let us not criticize it or deny it or that it didn't happen. It's a big deal for them, But if you are in Egypt imagine Egyptian president talk to the President Trump regularly because I one of the strong Middle East allies. So you all find them doing a write out. But people, like you said, in diplomacy, usually these calls comes about this time of the year. And if you go to a warehouse website, there's no write out by the call. I mean, that's not. It just is a random call too. But yes, I will not take it away from the UP. That's a big deal. So I believe the call did take place.
Yeah, thank you. You see, for me, my take on this is a simple thing. The optics, and due to the nature of our politics, into what we want to call, in the midst of global isolationism. And if you will see these things unfolding, if you see a country, particularly a small country, it reminds me of the state and Cairo theory. Struggling to see these things in other countries have been isolated, and you see the call coming from the U.S. president to your president, you believe that the optics is good. in terms of the update is good, in terms of other things. But I will come back to say there's a regular and usual way in this kind of a time, leaders, if their relationship, and the reason why the call is being placed is we in good book with the U.S. with things that we ought to do. We're not trying to differ from those lines. So that's one of the things. Those countries you see, they just name again. In West Africa, I think we have 2 countries in West Africa, if you will. We have Mali, we have Sierra Leone. In other part of Africa, also we have Chad, South Sudan, and few other African countries, if you will. So, but then this is not the role for us. So I think the call has been placed to other leaders that do have a bilateral relationship, and America consider a strategic partner also. So it's a usual thing. But and the reason why I would call on the government to do the things they have to do, so to keep us in line of serve political engagement, if you will. But there's nothing unusual about this. It's a usual thing, and that's why even in the statement from the executive mansion said the both leaders committed to strengthening our relationship for the past years that have subsisted, and that's a word we always knew, subsisted, because it being a relationship, a bilateral one that have been between us for quite a long time. So we should not run to celebrate this, but it's a call that we ought to respect and believe that we in good note of the United States. Another critical thing, and I was talking with you.
Let me just quickly add there. I remember during the Taylor administration, Liberia was not on America. It was not in a good book with America, but Bill Clinton was on his way to Ghana to meet with Rawlings, and he placed a call on Air Force One to Taylor. Immediately that call came in. Taylor had a press conference, and he said, "Look, my fellow citizen, I just received a call from President William Jefferson Clinton," and he made it a big deal because we see America as this thing. As soon as the president of America, everybody will make a big deal. So that what happens, Taylor made a big deal of that stuff. Had a press conference and announced to the nation that he spoke to Clinton on Air Force One, and he went on to say all they talk about and everything. That's how. So that's how our country. If we were really one of the top countries in Africa, it won't matter to us. It won't matter because
Absolutely.
of our political environment and it's so toxic. So we do all these things. But anyway, good for President Obama that we have a relationship with Clinton with Trump.
That's a good point. The Taylor scenario you brought in, and the leaders will be the reminded Liberian people, because every Liberian leader will want to see having a very good relationship. They will do things to placate the warehouse, right? So these things are expected, and we hope we see them moving time to time and all those things. But there are other things. As we said today, we have a jam-packed issue. I don't know if we'll discuss all today, but today, again, another thing I don't know.
So before you jump on that, can I just announce that today is our last day of our giveaway for our team in Liberia.
Oh, yes.
If you check our chat room, I just put that in it. We'll be sending the gift by tomorrow or later on tonight. We'll start sending gift to the few people that work with us. So if you still want to give, you can donate to that cause. But today is our last day, and we are probably at $1,400 right now. So we encourage you to give the best you can. Thank you.
Okay, Dr. Peabody, thank you. And I will, on behalf of my family, and I will also give the little that I can. I will present an amount of, I don't know, I don't want to call it. I will send it to you.
Second not talking it now.
Yeah.
Just say it, brother. I know it probably bigger than error. Just say it.
I know it's not bigger
than
error.
We tell you the man, right? I was free, so I was checking. I pay for my bags, right? So the man came, he said, how much for the first class, so the business class? When the man spam me now, he said, when they call the price, he spam me, he said, and man, you want to pay. He's on, hey, now working. He said, you're sure? I can use one. He left on that. He went about that, left, and then no on business class. I go right.
Man, one time I enjoyed like.
They may know it was. Yeah, so I was saying, why we on the show, I will send it to you, Peabody. So So you would say, but it's on behalf. So that's what, because you need to do that. I'm committed to have. I will to send it to you. I will soon send it to you quickly on that. But it's important that we.
And also, Chairman Ben, we're waiting for you to send your part of contribution. Chairman Benjamin Sanvee, waiting for you.
Yeah, and we also want to celebrate the guys. Actually, they've been doing some great jobs. Those directly with us and those that are associated in other ways. We always keep you in our thoughts.
Myean, today your birthday, right?
Yeah, today Myean birthday. Myean, we just had some conversation about Myean birthday. Myean turned 19 today, and we'll be sunning up. And he got a very bright.
Myean is a success story for this platform, I believe.
Future ahead of him. 19, he's very committed and doing other things. But we're going to get that after a few time. We'll get back to some of those things and highlight some of the reason why we have to do these things and all of online. But today, the President of the Republic also again went on to dedicate what I would call the likes, the ERWA. Is it ERWA? That's the ERWA. ERWA RIA highway light system, right? To put street lights all along the road before even we left, and then also the electrification of the Bentor Cruiserville area. The last time I drove from the Fendel University's campus, Fendel behind there, was trying to get a farmland for farmland to sort of thing. I went behind that side, around the Cruiserville side there. That whole area, it is a nice community, but then I've got some information today. The president launched the electrification of the Bentor Cruiserville area. That's a very, 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 very great news coming out of that today. And also, just recently, less than 2 weeks ago, we were on the road commuting. I can recall too many told me who were even ahead of me. He arrived to the airport probably around 4:30, and I was stayed behind. When I left town, when I left the ERWA junction, I was already almost 5:45 on the road before I could almost 6 right before I could hit the road. It was already dark, and the road can be really dark. Dr. Peabody, you are living witness to that. Recently, you've been in and out there. And the road, what they did facing the road, they elevated the road so the dish from both sides can be very risky at night, very, very risky. So the development that they're trying to put lights on the road from the airport or from ERWA to the airport. Timothy, I will start with you on this one quickly. The president has inaugurated that today. But the lighting system on the RIA highway, ERWA, and that of the Cruiserville Bentor township, if you will. What does that entails for the neighboring people?
Well, look, that's a good news. Look, you, especially those of us who travel frequently to our country, you want the best for the country as a nationalist or patriot, no matter who's in charge, who's leading the country. When it comes to development, I think we should all we all should join hands and praise the government for that. Because for imagine how many years our country being out of the war and the darkness, it will be dark. In fact, the eve of my departure, the president was coming from Cote d'Ivoire, and he was coming from Ouattara's inauguration, and they had the Fish Creek gate, the Firestone Ali into Firestone, that place, they had cars, they locked the gate, they said, the president coming. So I said, but the president, if he stay in the air, why are you locking the gate? You know, they said, oh, because when the president comes, we'll make sure the road is clear and all kind of stuff. But after they opened the gate, we're going, the president was going very slow because number one, the road is dark. Number two, the road is not too, the part of that road, certain part of the road is not prepared yet. And you don't forget, we have an aged and elderly president. And like he said, he admitted that he said he has a pacemaker. So all that thing got to protect him, protect his health and for his well-being. So they've come forward going very slow. So now that road, I saw the lights today, I felt very good about it. I'm happy. And I can't wait for that road to get completed. According to the public works minister, I think he told you and I, or met with him, that 2027, that the target. Even I met the guy who's the head, the guy who is who's fixing the road. We have that project, Kevin, and the national company. They said 2027. So you have that 4 lanes, 2 coming on and the divider. You know, that would be so good, because too many accidents on our road because having head-on collision and so forth. But if you be coming one way, you coming all cars going this way, car coming the way, it'll be so nice. I can't wait to see it happen. And so with the lights on the road and with a lot of visitors coming home this holiday season, it's good. And I saw somebody sent me, one of the guys sent me the picture of it. I was elated. I'm happy. So kudos to this administration for that aspect. And wherever they leave it, wherever they stop, another person will come and take it from there. That's how government should be, continuity. So the administration put up, try to push that road forward. Then they left where they left it. The UP government now taking over, Burger government taking it from there, and they on the watch. They will hopefully complete that project. So let us celebrate that our country, our international airport, the only international airport we have, the road leading to it has been lighted up, and we should be happy. We should not even play politics with it. Let's commend it and give the government, cut our losses there and say, look, government, thank you for this. I think that's where I stand.
Sarah, is there any commendation for the government for that?
Absolutely. Why not? I mean, the road is to benefit everybody. It benefits me. It benefits you. It benefits all Liberians that apply that road. Also, I definitely will commend them for it, but I also will commend the previous government for the portion they did, because government is continuity. And this is the part that, you know, this government, they don't like to hear when we talk about, you know, giving credit to where credit belongs. They frown on it. I mean, if they did a great job, we commend them. Why can't we commend people that did what they did and brought it to this far, and they are continuing from there? So I mean, again, I say kudos to them, and you know, kudos to everyone else that have contributed towards that role. I want to say thank you.
Dr. Peabody, quickly, in terms of that, you've been on the road for some time now, and you saw how dangerous the road is. With this street lights thing being ordered to at least give some security to the road and some safety, you think that it should be something that that should have been done ever since, or is commendable to be done now?
Look, I think when it's done now, it's commendable. It's done now. My only hope is that it will not be one of those things to just show morale, where after a few days then all the lights will go off. I hope it's something really durable, something that will be there for a very long time. You know, because we have seen other street lights before, especially these solar lights, planted in places and go off after a couple of months. You drive in the place, all the places dark, all the lights not functioning. So I hope it's something durable, but I think it's commendable. And look, the thing about politics is you can disagree, but if the person does something great, you can commend them for doing something good. And I think that's a mature politics, that if you commend them for the good thing that it did, that's very mature, rather than just criticizing, you never see good. I don't think it's politics. So I think this government, what they did to put light on that road and with all the issue that's going on, I think it's commendable. It's very much commendable.
Seleke, it been a problem ever since the civil crisis. We had at the time before the war, on the hydro, then the hydro was pumping up the capacity of 88 megawatt source of electricity. And then when we came back after the rehabilitation, as on the record, the hydro got completely damaged by the reckless civil war into the country. And then when Madam Saliev's government started rehabilitating or reconstructing the hydro, after the hydro was reconstructed, they started gradually coming back to that capacity to give current. I think we almost had about pre-war status now before the war. Places like Bentor, Crusoeville, and all those other areas, it was a taboo for years. Today, the president also lighted lights all in those communities. These are community that were considered very isolated, behind Fennel, all around the place, and along the RIA road. You think there's a huge boost for this government in terms of providing social services to its people?
For me, I know I will go on the contrary, and I know people would not like me to do that, but this is my view. I think it's overdue, Sylvester. This is the 21st century. We are in 2025. You know, so celebrating street light, whether on the international or on the airport road or whatever part of the country, you know, if the government do it, it's their responsibility to do that. You know, they don't need my validation before they know that they're doing well. You know, for me, it's overdue. That's my position. You know, and again, we have to kind of get away with this at least mentality. We have to demand for more. So countries right around us there, like Cote d'Ivoire, Ghana, they're not thinking about electrifying airport road or putting light in communities. You know, so why we as the oldest country in Africa, we should be thinking about that. And judging them ourselves, we should give credit to this government, or we should give the credit to the former president or the former government because they initiated it. It's long overdue. You know, if they actually let up, whether it's sustainable, because at the end of the day, that a Peabody squares a very valid point. Let's watch and see the next 3 months or 4 months to come, whether there's still going to be light on our same RIA road. You know, but for me personally, as Seleke Kromah, what I have seen here for the last almost 2 years now, because I arrived here January 2024. So next month will be making me 2 years in this country. I cannot sit on this platform and say thank you, Joseph Boakai Unity Party, for putting light on the RIA road. I will not do that. If they've done that, if the Liberian people think that's because that's the responsibility, that's what they're being paid to do. So why we should come here and have a show saying thank you to these people for doing it? Say, you know, for me, if they want to see it as being a, you know, hypocrite or not, because at the end of the day, the government
Seleke,
you are absolutely right, Seleke.
Let's move on to say this. We ought to be honest sometime, and while we move on to discuss the politics. Everywhere in the country, Seleke, even the world most powerful country, whenever they have things done, the president was just moving. The president, after speaking to the American people recently, he went to North Carolina to discuss things he's doing. So listen, I think it's unfortunate that you say is a responsibility everywhere in the world. When government, big or small, when the government perform anything they think is a good job, they will go and announce to her people or to his people that this is what we've done.
Which I agree with you.
Yeah, but to say no, but then, I mean, I don't understand. But yeah, go ahead, please.
I agree with you. It is a government responsibility to announce what they have done. It is my responsibility to get on the media to say thank you, clapping for them, you know, to validate. They don't need my validation. That's my point I'm trying to make.
Okay.
You know, they don't need me to say thank you before they know that they're doing what they're supposed to do for the people.
Okay. Can I say something?
You know, for me, I will not sit on the platform and say thank you for putting screen light to RIA. It's overdue.
Okay.
Can I say something?
Fair enough. Sarah, go ahead quickly, then we move on.
Yeah, Pewee, I actually don't want you to persuade this platform to go your way of thinking in certain.
No.
I think that's what you're trying to do, because one of us have our views, and our view is our view when it comes to our country. You're trying to sway, in my opinion, you're trying to sway the platform's view towards your view, which I think is wrong. We all have our views here, and we say things the way how we see it, you know, and that's it. But for you to think, said as it is, and you know, when Seleke made a comment about what he said, and he said, "Oh, we have to come." It is true. We cannot continue to celebrate mediocrity. We can't do that. So, and that is his view. His view is his view. You can.
Let me hold you there quick.
Yeah, but nobody said you should celebrate. But the fact is to see that to be realistic. When something is good, you say it's good. When it's bad, you say it's bad. But not just seeing it from one mirror.
Sarah, let me put it back to you quickly. What I'm saying here, and I'm on the show, moderating the show, right? So I will have to probe you sometime, and that's the essence of the discussion.
I agree.
And he's saying government is not government is reminding him. I said, no, it's not only the government of Liberia. Every government in the world will do that, right? And the point to him, and Sarah, yourself, your government did that when we were.
Right, I agree.
Role, you did those things.
My point
when you build, I come to a point to you, Sarah. When you build market, you Topoh, you build market.
I agree.
When you build this post station, you Topoh, you did this. And I know at the time Seleke didn't agree to those things, probably because it was not his goal. So maybe Seleke will start doing these things now when he in power too.
No, what I'm trying to say,
that's the point, right? So
I agree with everything you said, but don't sway the position of the platform. Everybody
I'm not swaying it. I'm actually.
I think that's what you're trying to do.
Sarah, I'm playing a devil advocate there. I'm presiding, right? So I had to push him to hear his view to see what he really meant. So sometimes we have to do these things.
Let me say this.
Go ahead,
Sylvester. Sarah, next time, y'all make sure y'all get up and give our power like that. Yeah, make sure y'all rather check everything, check all the results before y'all give up power like that. Next time you don't have to give up power like that.
I mean, the thing is not about the power. I just think that you're trying to censor the overall view of everybody, which I think is wrong. Every one of us have our views, and it should be that way. Don't try to sway us to be the way how you want it to be or you think it's right. No, this is a platform, and everybody have diverse views. That's how I see it.
I agree with that. I agree with that for everybody's view. I agree. I mean, 100%. I agree with that.
So
we don't have to agree to it. We don't have to do that.
Yeah, basically that's the issue. And I'm playing the role as the devil advocate, right? So I will have to do not ready for the devil. No. But listen, let's put it this way. There are a lot of things sparking in the country today. And I listened to a very long time. I haven't been saying I just saw, I mean, he was missing Asher or so. I just saw Ronnie here today in studio in Monrovia there in OKFM and in Garguah sparking some serious debate. And Ronnie is not alone to this, so we'll put the two together to discuss this. Representative Senator Edwin Snow for Birmingham County is giving some real serious attack on this government that the ruling establishment is desperate. They are desperate, they are angry, and they're trying to do everything in the way they're hindering power and all those things. In other words, he said that the ruling establishment is not only hungry for power, but the display by the Unity Party while in opposition has now resurfaced on it, more pronounced under the current leadership. He went on to really go for the Unity Party, and today, on the scene, OKFM, Ron Dessier, a very permanent Liberian journalist and the publisher of the all-powerful Front Page Africa newspaper, also said the same today. He said the ruling establishment is acting as though they stay in opposition. They are bitter with everybody, and they won with very thin majority, very very small majority, and they're behaving as though they got a huge mandate that they won 80% of the electorate in the country. This is not a good sign. St. Tomalin George. Politically, listen to your own Mayor Rogne, listen to Senator Snow, who, of course, is one of the veteran Liberian politicians being around for a very protracted period of time. These are two individuals that have played a major role in the Liberian politics and saying this about the ruling establishment. Do you foresee some problem coming up now that we are about to enter 2026?
Well, look, I think like you and I, we discuss almost every day about these things behind the scene. But the issue is that 2026 is a very important year for the UP government, and 2027. I went home on Friday, and before I went to sleep, I listened to the president's full interview on ERBC. And to be honest with you, I wasn't impressed with it. In fact, I will give credit today to President Samuel Doe, President Taylor, the presidents who I saw during the end of the year. They call it the tete-a-tete, year-end tete-a-tete with the press, international and national media. They will engage them and have about 1 hour and a half, 2 hours of interaction with them. But to take select journalists like T-Max and Kevin DeMay and the guy from LBS, with all the president team sitting around, everybody sitting around and so forth in that kind of environment, they're not doing him well. They're not doing him good. Give the man his space, give him the chance, let him face the media, let him face the public, interact with the people, and so forth. And try, but the president, and I can make it clear, President Boga is running for 2029. For the fact that he could not answer that question, once you get a politician, you get politics for long. When they talk about election, they say, "Oh, we're doing a job right now." That person is running. No joke about it. He's running re-election. Okay, and I will not blame him on not running. If you see the comfort, everything where the presidency brings, and you enjoy the glamour of it, you definitely want to see re-election. Right? And so he's running. That one is obvious. And then with the issue about the Poya project, I mean, I think the president should have done the country justice by being honest with the Liberian people to say that he wasn't aware of it, that kind of a multi-million-dollar project, and if they are told him you are resisting, come on, JMB, come on, man, we know that, it's not possible. But Liberian people were aggressive, the press were aggressive, they exposed what happening, so the president was compelled to break it. I was on OKF that day, I told him, I said, President Boga, it's time you break your silence, because your Minister of State, your Press Secretary, Information Minister, they are all playing with this thing. Power Minister, they all play with this issue. It's time that you break your silence and tell the Liberian people, come clean with this project. But I'm happy that we on record now that project for the Liberian people. I'm happy. So they won't say tomorrow, oh, that project. No. If a Liberian people, the next government that will come, we'll use it for meetings in our place. Yes, we have big meetings in our place. So if a Liberian people, and then they talk about it, the project almost done, and then they say we'll be getting funding from other places, other sources. Come on. Even when the project was built, what was the idea behind it? It was up to them, but the idea who got the project. Coming to Rodney, and I we keep in touch very closely, and we'll all be monitoring events in the country. He's an investigative journalist. He's been and giving an assessment. You should respect the assessment he's giving. He don't forget. Before they attack him, when the president came to meet Trump, he was the only journalist they invited there to go to interview Boyka. So it's not like they'll say he's coming with this abstract that he gets taken from his head. I see some people attacking him on it. But again, while it is true that the government of President Boga, they are making some progress, they are doing some things, but it's also fair that they be critiqued according to what they have done with the service of the country. And Snow is an opposition politician. Snow knows that he won't have no love for this government. It won't be there. I don't care how much he go to a Myean, they try to fix it, they go and to talk behind the scene with Boyka there. He might forget it. He's an opposition figure, and he shall stay as opposition, be strong. And the good thing about him, he's in the legislature, he's in the Senate, so there's not much they can do to him. He speaks their mind. He's an elected person, so he can speak his mind freely. So the government should understand that next year will be tough because people will now be more aggressive. It depends on the opposition how they will position themselves, but they will be more aggressive. If they can deliver 2026, the problem will start. So most of the projects, most of the visits the president travel out of the country, and the goodies they brought, the MOUs that they signed, is that we hope to be implemented. I was told that they're about to put the machines are all on the ground. They're about to send the machines to the county. They'll have bridges around. Well, I'm happy for that. I want to see that when I'm traveling across the country, I want to travel freely. So I think the journalists, Rodney here and Snow, I think their criticism should not just be and dismissed. They are playing a role as opposition and investigative journalists. So I think they're on point with the in the criticism. I mean, if they didn't, I've not watched the whole interview, but I'm sure the certain part of that interview, perhaps they commended the government for doing something positive this year since they came to office, which I think would be unfair. It would just say this government have done nothing. It would be unfair to this government to say that. I think they should be able to say at least they have made some snow movement and impact. But just say they have done nothing, I think it would be unfair to this government. But the criticism, I think, is on point. They have the right to do it.
Sarah, I'll come back to you on this one. Rockness spoke of the issue of how desperate and how angry of the ruling party out of the way. These are attributes he attributed to them, and the rest of that. But also, Representative Snow said the ruling party is desperate for power. They're very desperate. They are more even desperate for 2029. Even the responsibility they got now, they're not even focusing on that, because when they were in opposition, what they did, they ran with negative propaganda and fabrication all over the place, disinformation and all those things he said about the ruling establishment. But he didn't forget something. He said that the current opposition, including the CDC, he emphasized, is very fragmented, disintegrating, and very weak collectively in the opposition camp. As this is going back to he hitting the ruling class, the ruling establishment, but he gave a big slap also to the opposition. And he said if the opposition cannot reconstitute themselves and put their acts together and build kind of a coalition necessary, they should forget about 2029. What's your own perspective on that?
I totally agree with him, and this has been my own frustration. But then too, I'm not going to put the whole blame on CDC. CDC is not the only opposition party, even though it is the biggest opposition party, but it's not the only opposition. And CDC should not be looked at as a sacrificial lamb, because every one of the opposition members are vying for that one seat, which is the presidency. So if all of them are really serious of coming back 2029, all of them should, just like the United Party did when they had the collaboration with the CPP, and they came together and called themselves CPP. ANC was part of that group. United Party and other parties were part of that group. Now, CDC is in the opposition. United Party is still in opposition. Other groups, they all should come together and form a very formidable force that will hold this government to feet to the fire. And so far, they're fighting, but they're not fighting enough. And so United Party gets away with everything. You know, they disrespect all of our laws. They feel entitled, like what Reddy said. They only won by less than 1% of the vote. But now they feel like, you know, they have everything because they have weaponized everything. And the opposition is not forceful enough, you know, to kind of tackle them, because this opposition should be having their boots on the ground in Washington, D.C. They should be having their boots on the ground in Washington, D.C., letting Washington, D.C. know some of the mayhem, some of the things that this government is doing to the Liberian people. They should be having all of that collaboration done, because this is the exact same thing United Party did to the CDC government. But so far, I'm not seeing that. So I share his frustration myself. I'm frustrated about some of the things that are going on. But I think they will recalibrate. I think they will come together. I have a feeling, I have a hope that they will come together and they will defeat this government, because this government, they're not focusing on doing the bread border issues for Liberia. They are focusing on 2029. That is the reason why when CDC said the building, the party headquarters, they too decided to go build party headquarters and to steal the Liberian people money to pay for a building that they never even paid. They never had money to pay rent when they were in opposition. They cleared that one quick. Okay? They paid for building already. They're collecting money now to build other places. So you can tell that they are not focused on the Liberian people issues. They are not focused on the bread border issues of the Liberian people. They are focused on 2029. And one last point before I close, when I listened to President Bouakar's tape about the building in Foya and how the sub-region needs to be safe, and it's for the sub-region. Is the sub-region a priority for President Bouakar's government? Or the Liberian people supposed to be a priority? Spending 10 million or 6 million, whatever the amount is, for a building in Foya, is that a priority for the Liberian people when we have schools, we have hospitals and other places that are lacking the basic essentials for our people? So if the lies of this government from top to bottom is just glaring, and I think the opposition needs to really put their boots on the ground and start working. Thank you.
Good. Dr. Peabody, you listen to Rodnix here, somebody that you've been following for a very long time. And I also listen to Representative Snow hit high. Also, I'm Senator Snow, sorry. I'm just saying Representative Snow. Senator Snow hit very high. And he brought some very critical points to remind us how the United Party engaged in some propaganda spree during the time they were in opposition. And this was just for the quest of naked power, if you will. Now that they have the power, and most of the things they said, they are not following suit on those things, following up on those things, rather. Like, for instance, one of the particular reasons why they came to power, because of the narrow victory. One would think that it was the electrics, and Snow also won most of the civil servants, if you will, on that. About this, if you harmonize my pay, I will harmonize your vote. And that's one of the ways they got elected, due to the harmonization. But up to current, the current ruling establishment have not reversed that harmonization thing. And they are not reversed it, but they stay very desperate and still doing things, acting at this issue about the presidency is a kind of an entitlement that Mr. Boakai, probably his Prince Boakai, that have taken on the presidency from his father, Prince Boakai the Senior or so, and now they so entitled and so desperate, worried that this is their game. Do you think that part is reminding the civil servant of? That if they harmonize people vote according to what they said, because they did harmonize their pay, and currently nothing have changed, it's just a warning to them and setting them, reminding them of what they did to the CDC, and could that come back to haunt the current establishment?
Well, it was politics. They came back, ran with their propaganda, and they were able to succeed. But yes, I would rather, I'll take Rodney where it's very serious, because Rodney is an investigator, he's an independent journalist, on what he's saying. I don't think now it's time to be throwing jabs at opposition. You won the election, you've been there almost 2 years now, probably going on 3 years. It's going, So it's no time to be throwing jab at the opposition, that everything you do, oh, you're going to do this, or we did this, and you're going to do that, and all of that. You can develop a country like that. You came up with your plan. You had your plan and said that you were going to come up with a plan. You were going to change this country. But if things are not going and you are getting so much anger and mad and hate, I mean, the thing is, the government, you can't be an enemy of your people. President Boakai now is the government of all Liberians. He's not just the president. He's not just the president of Liberia. He's the president of all Liberians. And those in leader, they are leading the country. So you are leading all the Liberians. What is the time to throw a jab at your opposition? Show it in a positive way. Show it, hey, we did this. We were able to develop this. We were able to develop that plan. But if you guys came to power, it reminds me of Dopoh, when the action that day, when they executed the people, said what? He said, we're not going to make any change. We're going to follow the old plan. Everything that went on will be the same. We're not going to change anything. So then why did you go and kill Torgbean and stuff like that? But what I'm saying is, look, man, let's be honest here. We saw a president on an interview the other day who was very fragile, who appeared not to be in control of his own government, who sat there and people said they were building a multi-million-dollar project, and he said that they didn't tell him. Now you found out, you didn't do nothing about it, or they have told me they know I'm not going to do it, and then you left. You didn't do nothing about it. That shows you're not in control. You saw a president sitting there and said that they're bringing in thousands of Burkinabés to Liberia in Grand Chile. They're taking over key mining area and stuff like that. And his president, the only thing he said, oh, they are hard-working people and stuff like that. They are coming and taking all the money business from your people. You sitting there and saying they are hard-working people. No wonder why Cornelia Clark can sit down and sell over 10,000 work permit to foreigners to work for a job that Liberians should be doing. He's selling the work permit. He's sitting there and selling 10,000. Where in West Africa, you stick there and sell 10,000 work permits for Lebanese and Indians to come and take over. They're even selling restaurants. They're even doing catering business. They're working in restaurants as manager, in grocery stores and all of that. Job that Liberians should get. And you giving them the work permit because they can give you kickback. So our country seems to be very fragile. It's still a challenge, I'm gonna say there's still a challenge. So what I'm saying is, yeah, they have made some progress, but limited, just very on a very small scales. The day-to-day issue of Liberian people, the food, the jobs. Liberian people, jobs. If you got all these Lebanese people working in there, all these people are friends, been here for long, but they should not be doing that job. If countries like Ghana and Ivory Coast were to just sit and let Lebanese and Indians come take over all their businesses, their market, I mean, you're talking about automobile, building, manufacturing, all of that. You think Ghana and other countries will develop today? They set strict rule that gave their citizens a priority, especially when it comes to working in certain places. We don't do it. We just sit back and laugh. These people come in, they bribe us. So, I mean, what is the Ministry of Labor even doing? Nothing. So I was watching the video the other day where a young man was going around showing all the Lebanese people that are working in these stores, who some of them are the cashiers, some of them sitting down there. I mean, no Liberian, they open business in our country. They can't hire or they bring their own people to come sit there and work. We sit there and laugh, and then we say we're leading people. That's a joke. So I mean, honestly, I would take Ronnie Ward serious because he's one of Liberia's finest journalists who have gone almost every part of this work. I mean, in our country, knows about the day-to-day activities. I'd rather take his word serious.
Yeah. So, and that is exactly the point. But Seleke, my point to you is that you listen to Representative Senator Snow, you listen to journalist CA, and you listen a lot of time to different. But before I can continue with you, let me say a wonderful good evening and welcome to Mr. Johnson Seaton. Welcome to the closing argument, Chief.
Thank you very much. I'm happy to be here.
Good. Before I can move further, Seleke, you've been following all those things from what the representative said, the senator said, and what the journalist, one of Liberia's most celebrated journalists, and he wrote a book himself, and he's been around for a very long time, contributed towards the democracy, a very good investigative journalist. He has not been liked by a lot of ruling establishment, it's clear. But again, he's been contributing, and he got the listening ears of the international partners and other people across the globe, if you will. From his angle, and from the angle of Senator Snow and other political commentators or pundits in the country, do you think this is an opportunity now? Because he also slapped the opposition by saying they are fragmented and very disorganized in his own words. And that means the senator. But do you think this is an opportunity for the ANC as a political institution to come back and begin a restratification issue to see how they can take the lead in bringing the opposition together for 2029?
Yeah, sure. Thank you again for this opportunity. So, first of all, I didn't listen to Senator Snow, but I listened to not even listening, but I saw a few quotations from the interview Rennie C had on OKFM this morning, because Judas just tried sharing some of the points he was making, So I totally understand and agree with him. I agree with him on some point. And on the other hand, I want to disagree with him when he's trying to kind of talk about the opposition being disorganized and all of that. So I agree with him when he talk about the government, the Unity Party, people coming after people because Liberians always speaking about things, most especially when they come up and lie, and do things that they opposed yesterday, and now they're given the opportunity to do it differently, and then they're doing the same things. They're coming after people as if they are in opposition. So I agree with him, most especially about their desperation for 2029, and this is absolutely up to the Liberian people to want to give these people another opportunity to take us to 2035. If this is what Liberia wants for us, then it's totally up to us, especially some of the names that are surfacing. If you're going to give your country to an 82 years old man who is saying to you that he was not informed about a project in Lofa County, you know, and when he was going to be in the know, he was going to resist, but now he's already in the know, and he's done nothing, absolutely. Nobody is fired, you know, but he goes on the radio, sit there and say, you know, they didn't tell me because I was going to resist, and now he's in the know, he's not doing anything. Just 82 years old, you know, but you're going to give him another 6 years mandate, or you're going to give the country to a Jeremiah Kong. You know, and that is totally up to the Liberian people, you know. But again, they are actually desperate and they can do anything. On the other hand, Sylvester, we always made this mistake. And this is where I think the members of the fourth estate, we can come in. Time for the election, we don't get to talk about the issues. We don't get to see the kind of people we elect into our offices. We don't ask the real questions. We become so emotional. We follow petty things. When they call, there's an organization in Liberia. Every election year, they try to organize a presidential debate. You know, I just forget about the organization name, but they do that every election year. These people don't go for debate. The population, the Liberian people, they don't even demand for it. Most people will make plow you because you're not giving your party t-shirt. They threaten you that they will not support you because you're not getting a t-shirt. You know, funny things that we should not even be worried about. We make all those things and then we elect people for 6 years to steer the affairs of our country, to make decisions for us. Because when you elect somebody as your president, the air you breathe, the kind of school your children go to, the hospital you go to, they determine that for 6 years. And we do that. In no time, we come and gather and blame people who are not paying taxes to. You're not paying taxes to opposition. So why you want the opposition to do, even though the opposition has a role to play in this, I understand. But for Rennie to say the opposition, you know, to make that, I agree that opposition, obviously, CDCs they are willing to collaborate, the ANC same, you know, and they've been doing their best, but they are not paying taxes to the opposition. They are not in control of the cover of the country. You know, they are not getting benefit like the lawmakers. Like the different government, you know, officials or the executive, the speaker, the protein, or the rest of it. The opposition are getting no immunity. You know, which one of the opposition leader you can say to us that generator to the house taking $3,000 US? None of them. So let's continue. And really, I understand because sometimes the pressure from the people from the Unity Party can be afraid so much that they try to shift to seem that they got banners. The people can scare you, and they do that to America most of the time. Ask yourself, some of the people who supported these people to come to power, the likes of John Molu, where are they? They think that, as you said, Sylvester, they think this country belongs to Joseph Boakai. That the one group of people own this country. So when you come to speak, they think they can scare you by going on Facebook, sending a surrogate to come and say things to you, to think like, oh, when they say those things, you'll be scared to speak your mind. Recently, Kamara been opposing the budget, that 1.2 billion budget, something they passed recently. On the issues, they sent a surrogate to attack Kamara unfairly. And this is what they're doing to Ronnie. And so maybe Ronnie went to the studio today, he wanted to be same as Barnes. So that's why he spoke about the opposition like that. But for me, if we truly want this country to move forward, let's pay attention during election time. We should not group of people to enjoy, to take home salary, to take home benefit, and then people who sacrificing. You know, Unity Party could not pay for that party haircut a few years ago, 2021. They came recently, they had a dollar, in one data they said they raised $1.6 million US. Very unrealistic. They're making a lot of fake promises. Joseph Boakai went on radio and said, before he leave power, Liberia will have our own airline. What about the 285 yellow machine they talk about? The year is almost to an end. We don't even see that machine here. They're talking about airline. You know, so these are things we should talk about. You know, you're not talking about this opposition. What the opposition doing? Yes, we have a role to play. I agree with you. There's a need for us to collaborate, to continue to hold them accountable. But to some extent, we cannot continue to blame opposition. We did the same thing when UP and the C people were together, when CDC was in power. People will say, oh, the opposition, and at the same thing, they won't start doing now. No, These are the people that control the Liberian taxes. The Unity Party, the government, not the opposition. So we should hold them accountable to account for what they are doing with the people money, not the opposition. So that's my point. Thank you.
Good. Different way we all gonna see this, and obviously these are points that were taken today, and I thought these were very critical points, particularly from Rodney CA and out of Senator Snow, if you will. Senator Snow struck some very important points. It was not CA that hit the opposition, it was Senator Snow, Seleke, that said the opposition seems to be very fragmented and disorganized, and if they cannot put their acts together, they should forget about 2029. And he went on to say a lot of things. He hit them, the ruling establishment high, and other things. And most of the commitment, according to him, that the push that they would have done for the people of Liberia, they far from doing them. They just were in opposition. They were living on propaganda. They still believe they can survive on propaganda as really established as a ruling government. And anyone that would do that, you're doing yourself a disservice, because you cannot be a ruling party and want to survive in propaganda. It's difficult. It wouldn't move nowhere. Like the president said, in a more disorientated way, that he didn't know about anything that is happening. How come you're the commander-in-chief of the country? How come you're the president of a republic? If you don't know something is unfolding in the country, it's sad. Then you have, and that's one of the reasons why we said there are selfish people within the presidency that are irreversing the president because they believe the president is tired and he's not paying attention. And you have a president that's not paying attention, and you have a bunch of people in the presidency that are doing their own individual things. This is dangerous. But Mr. Sito, you just came on. We started discussing a array of issues, but we've been locked in for some time. We're going to pay some attention here. We've been locked in for some time on this issue about the desperate nature of the current ruling party we have. They were more or less on a propaganda machinery in terms of the way they engaged, the modus operandi that they had during the campaign and when they served in opposition. The spree of misinformation, disinformation, they even went on a misleading way of telling the Liberian people that the Myean administration stole $16 billion Liberian dollars and could not account for this, could not account for that. And that was that particular propaganda they unleashed against the Myean government was not heavily counter, and that may have sink in a little bit to harm the Myean administration. Now they into power as the ruling establishment, they are behaving as though they stay in opposition, and they are so desperate they believe that if folks say that they are not performing something that they are not doing, then they get worried, they get upset, and then they believe that 2029 is going to be a walk in the park for them. And Rodney C is also saying they're desperate, they believe, and they want with very faint margin. If you want with that kind of a margin and you still believe that you're entitled, where are we headed from your own journalistic perspective? Can you read through the future to say, hey, what's going to happen in the next couple of years?
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity. Thank you very much. And I'm glad to be back on the show. I will respect to the comments you made and with respect to what Senator Snow said and also what my good friend Rodney C.S. said. I think indeed the government has failed to live up to its campaign promises. The government, Unity Party, when they were in opposition, they made several promises that they will improve the quality of life of the Liberian people. And they are going 2 years, almost 3 years into their administration. And we don't see nothing substantial happening. Even if anything substantial is happening, the Liberian people don't know. The president clearly stated that he doesn't listen to his own national radio station because the folks there are on serious group of people. But if the folks are on serious group of people, why you keep them there? The president claimed that he does not know anything about the FOIA project. And if he had known, he would have allowed it to happen. But you now know, what action are you taking? So this whole lack of being a decisive leader, I think it has a serious implication for the current administration. The administration made numerous promises, and they are now uplifting to those promises, excuse me. The cost of living, instead of it going down, is getting very, very difficult for average Liberians. Every one of us, you guys that are out of the country, we all are out of the country. Our phones are blowing up. People keep calling because guess what? The country is hard. And I saw the closing argument, the coverage yesterday for real estate market. You have too few people chasing multiplicity of goods. You got so many people in the market selling and only a few people buying. So that alone should tell you that the economy is in shambles. The country is heading towards a wrong path, and sadly, there is not a viable alternative. And Ronnie just said it, he made a clean play. Yeah, it is true that the oppositions are not getting taxpayer money, but they are the ones that are supposed to hold the government feet to the fire, and they are not doing that. They are fragmented. They can't seem to find their way out. So in the absence of them, of not a viable unity among them, and they are fragmented all over the place, Unity Party may eventually win this election. But the Liberian people are not stupid, because the Liberian people know that Unity Party ran Liberia is going to rule Liberia for almost 18 years. CDC ran Liberia for 6 years. And if we are 18 to 6, that's 24 years. 24 years of inactivity. That's what we have. So what does the country need? The country needs a new political dispensation. You can call it a third wave. You can call it a new link. You can call it a new D. However you want to brand it. The country needs a new political dispensation. The current leadership, the current ruling party, they are behaving like oppositions. Instead of them delivering on their campaign promises, they are fighting among themselves. They are fighting the opposition. They are still carrying on the propaganda. Yes. You came to power to mitigate all of the wrongs that President Weah and the CDC did in the last 6 years before you came to power. But guess what? You guys are not solving those problems. The problems keep compounding. And then you keep moving the goalposts. Oh, when President Weah was there, he didn't do this. We are doing it. Well, you were elected because President Weah didn't do it. Now, why come and keep shifting blame? So obviously, it means that you have no solution. And the fact that you have no solution, and President Weah was there for 6 years, he also had no solution. That is a clear indication that the country needs a new political dispensation. A dispensation that is going to create jobs for Liberians. A dispensation that is going to address the drug crisis. A dispensation that is going to improve the education system in the country. A dispensation that is going to improve the healthcare delivery system in the country. A dispensation that is going to ensure that the country is connected by roads. A dispensation that is going to ensure that electricity is all over the country. And a dispensation that is going to improve the economic viability of the Liberian people. And I don't see that in CDC, and also I don't see that in the United Party. I yield.
You don't see it in CDC, you don't see it in United Party, but you fell short of saying who you see it in. So basically, I don't know where we headed. But
I said the country needs a new political dispensation. Whether we call it the New Deal, or whether we call it the New Link, whatever we want to call it.
Do you think Cummings quickly? I will let you. I will let you go in 15 seconds. Do you think Arizona Cummings is an option to that pathway? In fact,
Arizona Cummings is not the option, and I will tell you the reason why.
Then who is not the option?
Hold on. I will tell you the reason why.
No, but no, I'm not going to more time now on that.
No, hold on. I know, and it's good that you brought this conversation up because
if he's not in who now? Because you said CDC is not.
Hold on.
This is not.
Hold on. Let me finish.
Yes.
The reason I said that he's not.
We don't have the luxury of time. We don't have the luxury of time.
I know we don't have the luxury of time. Arizona Cummings The fact that Alexander Comey admitted that he should have done it differently, he should have told the Liberian people that, hey, look, all of your corruption that you're engaged in, I'm not coming to stop that. I'm only coming to change certain things, and I will allow you guys to keep on with your corruption. He falls short. Look, if you want to change Liberia, you have to dismantle the entire system.
Mr. Sina,
that's the only way the country move forward.
Mr. Sina, we'll continue. Before we continue, let me clarify this on what the honorable man stated, and I will hold myself liable and responsible for any misinformation I will go about what he stated. Now, the issue about saying he's not coming to disrupt, and you have to understand this. If you come into politics, you're not coming, if you want to listen to politicians that are there, you come from the corporate world. Alexander Comey did not say at any time that he will allow the corruption to continue. No. Alexander Comey's issue is the Liberian politicians, or those that in the system, the lawmakers and all of the other actors in government or governance believe his coming is to come and disrupt the way the bureaucracy is functioning.
But what he needs to do?
He's coming to ensure that the country is on the right path, not to disrupt it. If he didn't do nothing, he said this. If he didn't do nothing, he's not coming to do things to disrupt things. So that mindset you have that he's coming to allow corruption.
You cannot have your cake and eat it at the same time.
That mindset he coming to have corruption continue? No. He will fight corruption. No. I need to get this clear. Because these same politicians are those Mr. Comey will have to sit and have discussion with. Are you come to say you will not talk to them?
Dismantle the entire structure.
You cannot. You have to talk to them and you engage a system. You cannot dismantle a system that you have to work with other people. You do it gradually and you move in the system and allow those people to have conversation. Other than that, you will not have the opportunity to sit there. And that approach of his is not only going to be effective, it is the best way to do it in terms of pushing yourself towards this thing. It's a meticulous plan he has. It's a meticulous pathway that anyone should engage.
You saw the path that Jerry Rawlings took in Ghana. He dismantled the whole system.
Jerry Rawlings didn't come. If Mr. Comey had the time to do coup, he would have done that. And let me remind you that Jerry Rawlings came through a military means. He didn't come to a democratically elected process.
Yeah, but you can still be elected democratically. No. To
do that, you need to engage. To get elected democratically, you have to speak to every walk of life in the country. Those that have perception problem with you, you have to erase that. And to erase that, you have to listen to them. It's going to be a gradual process to fit into the process. That was not a coup d'etat that disrupted. It's not going to be a coup d'etat. Jerry Rawlings went through the guns. Mr. Comey is going through the ballot box. And to go through the ballot box, you have to engage and you have to be structural about that. And
I have a different view on it, but we have to move on.
We will quickly move to the next.
Yeah.
And, you know, the face of the politics of the country, and time to time we've been looking at different issues. And I agree to what you say, and I agree to what everybody said. And as Seleke would say, that his thought process. Right, the government ought to do this, and we all will come time to time. We'll have different kind of a discussion. Too many will come and have different set of conversation with different people. We all will have different kind of a conversation moving forward. And the intent of the politics is to ensure that the country is moving on the right footing and other things. But for the programming note, before we can move on, there are a lot of critical things to discuss, a lot of things left to discuss. But before we can move on quickly, tomorrow, we're going to be having a special guest on the closing argument, the Senator of Mosurado County, the Light, Senator Abraham Darius DeLong, going to be a special guest of the closing argument. We can now confirm he's going to be on the show tomorrow, so that we can look more deeper into this year, the year review, to see some of the critical intervention he did, personally as a lawmaker, and then he's going to do an own assessment of this government that he collaborated with and supported, a government that he's playing some major role behind the scene, very close to the president. In other words, sometimes he also criticized the president, and he put forth the way forward. So tomorrow we're going to be having Senator Dillon will be here on the show so that we can do some deeper look at the performance of this regime, this government in this year, and look at some critical role he played also, and that of critiquing, looking deeply into the Liberian Senate. So tomorrow we're going to be having that. But before we can move to the next side of the discussion, there have been a lot of other things unfolding in the country in terms of today we started on the president meeting, the executive mansion press pool. We discussed the issue about Representative Snow and Rocknessier. We discussed the issue about the president lighting and putting up the lights on the street lights on the ELVA highway, and then the electrification of Crusoeville and that of Bentor, the capital city of Mosorado County, and all those things. These are some major things being done by the government in terms of social services, restoring social services back to those areas since the civil crisis and the rest of that. But there's this deeper, and we want to pay some attention here on this one. Before we can get there, let me quickly see something here. There's this debate, and I want to take some time to. There's this issue coming up that we hearing. It's still unconfirmed, but we're getting from inside sources, according to inside legislative sources. 22 lawmakers from the lower house of representatives, from the lower house, the House of Representatives, the people deputies, met today somewhere in the, according to the information, the second community, somewhere around outside of our nation capital. And the intent of their meeting was to remove the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Speaker Richard Nagbe Kung, commonly called Bo, to remove the Deputy Speaker, Honorable Thomas Fire, T5, and remove 4 members from the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee, and remove one member from the Rule, Order, and Administration. So this is a developing story, according to our sources. It's a developing story. We have not yet verified the realistic nature of this developing story, but we are closely following it. And it says also that it says, according to sources, the meeting brought together several representatives from the majority bloc who have now aligned with members of the minority bloc. So the majority bloc, who of course were a loggerhead with the minority bloc, that were trying to remove in the minority black leader, who of course was the legitimate speaker at the time, are now aligning their thought process with now the majority bloc and other things. So if there's anything to go by, if it is realistic, I think it's a troubling development. If they are not trying to align with already the desperate and angry guys, and then they're coming, they themselves, the desperate people didn't bring this out. Those people that is dethroned, they took out of power some months ago, are not the one bringing this debate. I'm told this is coming from that. And here's the reason why, folks, before we can start into the discussion, well, we're going to take some time on this one. Here's the reason why. Is it the sources disclose that the lawmakers have agreed to jointly sign a 10-count resolution calling for the removal of the following officials: the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Reggie Kuhn, the Deputy Speaker, Thomas Fala, 4 members, as I said, of the Ways, Means, and Finance Committee, and 1 member of the Rule, Order, and Administration. It is further reported that the 22 aggrieved lawmakers, most of whom belong to the majority bloc, loyal to Speaker Richard Kuhn, cited several reasons for the decision. These include alleged lack of accountability, poor and irresponsible leadership, marginalization of member, and something they refer to also as, I will end on before we can start the discussion, as usurpation of committee members' responsibility. And it was found the same thing, folks, that they cited that they were targeting the former speaker. They said he was usurping the function of most of the committees. He will then
break that English down for our audience. Break that,
now,
that English down for
to usurp of somebody's function or usurpation of function is to play the role that Sarah got to do. The assignment against Sarah not playing it. I will come because I think I beat me. I will come take that role and start playing it.
Thank
so
you.
That one of the major things they said they're doing this. So I will start with Sarah. I will start with you here.
At least some Mawata can understand that English. That be English.
Mawata. That's what they post say. The speaker and the deputy speaker, they are doing too much bad thing, and they playing a role of where the real community to play. They say they will call people, then they say, oh, that's some D, and that's some D they coming won't do, but you gotta get all the money for them, we'll take care of the other people then. And they say the post they don't let that thing, they want to do their own job for themselves. No kind of a thing people should play in the thing. But on a serious note, before I get to you, we're hearing a debate here, and Tomalin going to place. I'm going to get to Tomalin right after you. There's some conversation we've been having behind the scene. There's some serious monitoring unfolding now in the house about certain deal being rectified or so.
Wow.
Serious sum of money. But the disgruntlement within the so-called majority bloc is giving room for them to now find new marriage arrangement with the minority bloc that they were a local here with a couple of months ago. It's causing some serious tension. But they started corruption. They started corruption. They started irresponsible leadership, and they are now citing usurpation of a function of a committee. So I will start with you, Sarah, quickly. Did you expect this to start unfolding so quickly, or you think this is just a mere gossip coming up from somewhere?
You know, I am confused as to what to think about this legislature. You know, and especially for the people that are causing noise right now, the majority bloc. Deja vu all over again. And it starts from the top. Okay? They saw what happened when they unfairly removed the speaker. They unfairly removed the speaker. All of them had a hand, or I think that it was, you know, and now they have the region speaker and the deputy region speaker. And now they want to remove him. I mean, I am a little surprised, but not too surprised, because if you start something in a lawless way, definitely you're going to end it up in a lawless way. This region speaker knows how he got there. Both of them, they knew what they did and could now with you guys to remove the legitimate speaker. And now here we are again. So, you know, I'm bracing myself for the fun, because it's just funny to me. It's just really funny. These guys are playing with the lives of the Liberian people. All of them inclusive. I ain't taking nobody from there. They are playing with the lives of the Liberian people. And I hope our people are looking and listening. That's why I say, you know, reduce that English, break it down for Mawata can understand it. Because I'm pretty sure some of them can go over the children, or sometimes they can go over these platforms and these shows and watch them so they can understand what's going on. This is a disgrace. This is a plain disgrace. Just yesterday, y'all were clapping to remove Fonati. Now today, y'all want to move somebody else. You didn't know that what you were doing was wrong from the beginning. You have to stand for the country. You have to stand. You forget about your belly and stand for the country. And this is what these people refuse to do for our people. They refuse to stand for our people. Okay? They refuse to stand for our people. Now look at this. All that noise they're making is all about themselves. It's not even about our people. It's all about themselves. Because some of them can't get what they want now. They want to rebel. Who's going to take them serious? I'm bracing myself for the fun, Pewee. Thank you.
Good. Tony, you know, we've been having a lot of discussion about these things. And in the conversation before, and I predicted that there will be something in the not too distant future about some noise that will be people will be again trying to attempt. I told you I'm not so convinced that they're going to work, but there's going to be some noise in the capital building. I don't know if the president going to support that or so about removing this group, because there's going to be the issue now about personal interest, and most of the folks believe that they're being led at the backside. Do you think this is going to be anything to take serious as per what is currently unfolding, and then what you're hearing personally from behind the scene, apart from what we discussed?
Well, as the show is on, when you are talking, there's a lawmaker who is part of this thing watching the show, and I mean, we're not calling the guy name, man.
No.
The guys say, look, the whole thing is about money. He said they promised for the Oronto passage, they promised to get everybody 40K, but then Christmas come in, they ain't see nothing yet. He said, so then also
same thing I was saying.
Then he said in all, each person should get 150 to pass Oronto, Total, and SPX.
Mm-hmm. And before you continue, let me hold you there to my name. I'm still going to hold you for some time. Let me hold you there. Before you continue, that 150 is what, $150?
Yes.
Of course, man.
You think that Labrador?
No, come here. No, too many, you didn't get me. It said $150, $150,000.
150K,
150K each.
Yeah.
So it's 150,000 each.
This is why he telling me though. And for the three D's that were passed, the SPX,
and I heard similar thing for another lawmaker, different lawmakers.
Oronto. So now they believe that Fala and Mancun, they won't close them on the whole stuff. But
go ahead.
But this is the kind of a situation we got. If for me, like Sarah said, if I want to get cheese speaker and bread speaker all year for the last 3 years, let them do it. Because look, until we can change, until we have that transformative leadership that will not take this BS, it will continue to happen. You guys, it's all about the money. What do you think I took the money from to give to remove this former speaker? They were in the Farmington Hotel for months. Look, it's all about the money. And they'll continue to do it. Look, that whole thing, when you see them doing all that year and at the end of the day, they will pass it. Now, they will pass it. Let it go quick. Let them go. Pass it. Now, I think now you go on Facebook, most of the senators, the lawmakers there, they are pissed writing about what happened. Why the D is bad. Okay? One of our own friends said the HPI D, which is the American people D, is bad. They want it. But they won't bring much to Liberian people. But that's how the country is. That's how the country runs. I've been running. Until you get our leadership that will say, look, when we're negotiate interest of the Liberian people. So last night I was told that B Mountain, I asked somebody a question. Why B Mountain, why Brussels Airlines and they leave from here with empty? Is it Tomalin? Brussels Airlines will not care whether you're planting on the plane, they will go. You know why? They're the one who airlifting B Mountain minerals from your country. They're the one doing it. So they carrying out minerals every day, they're flying. They didn't care. And you saw the plane were coming, Pewee. The plane were coming, were empty. To the extent when went business class to go speed on you there, they hope they were empty. You saw it. They were empty. And they didn't care whether they take people and they carry empty flight. And then mind you, the person said to money, go soon in the morning, send your reporters there. Soon in the morning, go to B Mountain. You see the Turkish people there. They painted. Some of them doing plumber, some of them doing driver, they were working. And all that thing are beer for Liberian to do. No, the people are in cahoot with our people. Our lawmakers is a problem. Honestly, this is the problem. So it's all about money. And they will not give, they won't rest. They will continue until Fala and Kun open up. If they don't open up, if they don't and give them something, they will push it. I can't be somewhere. I know very well that you guys, the kind of money you guys getting, yeah, I sit down there, no. I want in my now, people are looking for re-election coming too. They want to make sure they position themselves. So, my people, it's a sad thing, but this is what we are as a country. Until we can get it changed, it's just how it want to be. So Pewee, they think about the coming to remove. I gave it credence because this was certain person telling me this thing. It wasn't open. It wasn't care. He said, don't come on now, but I'll tell you. And the person tell me the thing. And I believe it. It's sad, though. It's sad.
Dr. Peabody, this scenario, we started this debate last October. Last year, October, I think we started this whole thing. And it lingered for some time. Eventually, the storm got settled. We left from the turbulence. But the same kind of an accusation that was levied at the time against the former speaker, J. Fananti Kofa, and eventually led to his removal. We're seeing the same replay here now. The same group of lawmakers that accuse the former speaker of corruption, of usurpation of committee function, if you will, and a lot of other things, of not giving them major committee jobs, are the same people, those that removed the speaker then, are the same people now soliciting signatures to remove their own man abroad. So is it that the same thing they spoke against, that the former speaker was engaged with, is even more that the new speaker, even taking over for just a couple of months, is engaged with now?
Look, Sylvester, you got somebody called them lawbreakers and call themselves lawmakers. The problem here is these were the same people that went there and voted for a very irresponsible man to be their speaker. These were people who were acting like hooligans, going around busting doors, taking pliers and hammers and standing on national TV, busting doors, especially the wild muff one from Bon County. I don't even know what his
James
name.
Colette.
Yeah, that one was so rude and so vocal and had so much anger. And now we see what's happening. Because this man got in there, he don't have the time. Maybe he had promised them certain area to put them, and he ain't got time for them. So now they're not getting the area, they're not getting the money. So they want to remove him. In the meantime, the speaker is moving around with his fiancée or his white lady, and they're dressing in African, 1 minute in European, 1 minute in there. You can see how irresponsible the speaker is. You know, you can see how very irresponsible it is. They may not even fit to be a speaker of the Republic of Liberia. You know, but they sat there, they fought, they broke buildings, they went to this man's office and busted open daylight. He went and bust people's car. The very speaker went there and bust Kehleboe car. Did all sorts of stuff, you know. So that show that somebody is saying that the Liberian people suffering. The Liberian people are not suffering. Liberian people love suffering. That's why you vote for these hooligans and fools to lead you. You saw what it did. They stay in hotels for almost 6 months to a year. They were in hotel. They were moving up and down. They were paying them money. They were having lavish parties in hotel. They spent almost $1 million. Almost $1 million. They spent on them to do this nonsense and bring this national disgrace to Liberia. Only because Honorable Kofa talked about auditing. And then they got mad. They were moving. We saw Richard Kuhn, who was so, and all kinds of stuff. And at the end of the day, what they threw on them, they threw fire on them that they can't prove that these people went ahead and burned Capitol building and all kinds of stuff. So the Liberian people like their own problem. They vote for people who will not do anything for them. You know, we got a guy like Fala. He been chairman on Ways and Means Committee for almost forever. He had siphoned millions of dollars from in that places, even up to stationary money. These guys steal it. Stationary, their own worker money, they steal it.
Wow.
You know, and then they're moving around in millions, $50,000, $60,000 car and acting like they're working. What are they working for? Nothing. They're working for themselves. We elected some of the people. How many other people in the House of Representatives really represent the people or really talk for the people? They talk for themselves. They make store up wealth for some time for themselves. They're not doing it for the people. They're not advocating for the town. They're not doing those things. So the thing we see here is, I would love to see that play. I would love to see it.
I want to see it.
You know, I would love to see how that works, you know, and you know what goes around comes around.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, Richard Kuhn shouldn't sit there and think that he all secure and nobody will move him. But it also would depend on the government or the executive. You saw how the executive was so intrusive when it came to Speaker Kofa. You have a justice minister sitting there saying he's interpreting Supreme Court law. You had a president that say they got to look at both sides and things like that. So, I mean, those people not ready yet. So I can say it depends who the executive wants to support, and that's the person who will be the speaker and all of that. They may interrupt for some time, and maybe they'll pay them some money, bribe them again, and then that will go to the executive. Is the one promoting this irresponsible speaker, this regime speaker, that's moving all around with somebody's wife, jumping all over the place, taking pictures. You know, so that's why you won, and that's why you get. But it's I want to see that unfold, Sylvester. I really want to see it.
Thank you. Me too.
Exactly the point, you know. But again, there's a lot of error. Mr. Sita, I don't know if I gauge your view on this or not.
No, you haven't.
But I'm coming. I just want to.
Go ahead. No, you haven't engaged my view yet.
Yeah, I want to get from this angle with you, Mr. Sita, on this one. You know, the committee, the guys met, allegedly met somewhere in the police academy environment. That's where they met. And it's alleged that they met there. But there are major things they're trying to pinpoint here. And some of these things is about corruption. Some of these things is about irresponsible leadership and all those lines. And the same group of people that are now meeting, just a few months ago, they remove a speaker for the same reason they're saying that, but even IMO. So, do you think the executive may have irresponsibly sponsored something, or they wanted to remove someone that wanted to bring transparency to the House and bring people that will unleash unreasonable kind of a corruption in the lower house?
Well, thank you very much. Again, it is sad for our country to go through these transitions over and over. And it is all because, and Peabody made it clear, our people elect irresponsible people and give them responsible jobs. If you elect an irresponsible person and give him a responsible job, he's going to show you irresponsibility. And that's what is happening in Liberia. You have a group of people who call themselves lawmakers. They don't even know the laws that they say they are making. They don't even know the Constitution. All right? They were influenced by the executive. They removed a certain speaker because he wanted to bring about transparency. Whether he wanted to bring about transparency is another issue for debate. But they all ganged up and they were paid some money to remove the speaker. Now, they signed a new INO agreement with HPX, and they were promised huge sum of money. And because they cannot get their money now, they have now concocted a plan to remove the speaker under the guise of corruption and not giving them lucrative assignment and all the whole 9 yards. These people are not serious. And until Liberians, let it hear my word, and sometimes I question the psyche of our people. The psyche of our people. These people are corrupt. You know within yourself that they are corrupt. But then you turn around, you elect them and give them responsibility. Then when they start stealing your money, then you say, oh, the people are corrupt. But you knew from the beginning. Why you elected them? We got people with integrity, people that are honest, want to serve their country in an honest manner, and you downplay all of these people. You don't elect them, you elect group of thieves. And they siphon all your money out so many different ways. Then they come back, and let me just finish on the top. They siphon all your money out so many different ways, right? They steal about $1 million, a person steal $1 million. Then a person come back to you and give you $10,000 like what Richard Kun did recently. He gave them motorbike, which is cost less than $20,000. How you got the money? He siphoned several money out from so many sources. He got a good sum of money. He took out 5, maybe 1% of that money and bought motorbike. Then he said that tangible I'm giving to the people that I represent. Tangible where? You steal the people money, you get them crumbs, then you say you are helping the people. That's what you guys are doing. And it is sad. Until Liberians can see for themselves that the legislature, the fresh branch of government are supposed to hold the executive accountable. Until they can elect people with integrity, people that are honest, into the legislature, the country will continue to go through this vicious circle. You remove a few group of rogues, you put another group of thieves in there. They come and do the same thing. Vicious circle. The circle keeps turning around. It's just spinning. That's what the country is. That's what the country is experiencing. I can tell you that. They remove Richard Kun. Another person gets there. If the person refuses to give them money, they will remove that person. So these guys are not serious. And until the Liberian people can see for themselves the people that they elect to represent them in the national legislature. Our national legislator should not have a private company. Why? He's a sitting lawmaker. You have lawmakers that have their private companies that are doing business with private companies. Serious conflict of interest.
Yep.
You have lawmakers that are running schools. Serious conflict of interest. And people think it is normal. It is not normal. Nowhere in a sub-region that happens. It is only Liberia. That you have lawmakers doing you instead of making laws to protect the business interests of Liberia, they at the same time you are doing business with that company. How does that sound? How does that sound? How will you hold a company accountable when you are doing business with the company? Serious conflict of interest. And it's all over the place. You think if the lawmakers, if we have people, honest people, who really want to move Liberia forward, you think if we have those kind of people in the national legislature, the executive will do certain things that is illegal and they were allowed to fly? It's not going to happen. Almost all government officials, they got private business. You're managing director for the company, you got your private business. You senator, you got your private business. How did you get the money to get a private business? How? You use the people's money, then you open your private business, then you set out your private business. So that's the situation the country is faced with. Until that changes, nothing is going to happen, even though they want to remove the speaker. Maybe it is the executive that is orchestrating this whole campaign, but again, it's all about money. And because the guys don't have their money, so they are not gang up now, they want to remove Richard Kun. I can tell you, as long as, from what Tomalin just said, if it is true, as soon as they got to get their $40,000 each, that whole removal of speaker thing is going to go under the rug. Where are we?
Yeah.
We need a new political dispensation, my brother. We need it.
Absolutely. And a call for a new dispensation that cannot be overemphasized. And I agree that we will have to launch, and coming up, people will have to collectively come in and spark this debate about a change within the Liberian political climate. as per the way we go for those that should be in the leadership structure of the country, in terms of representing the people, making decisions on behalf of the people. This is quite clear. We ought to do it. We ought to lay with it, and then and we have to be very steadfast about this issue, not to mention our voice on these things, because people will have to be realistic in terms of how we intend to go about these things. Certain group of people believe that they belong to themselves, they move into the resources of the country to pillage the resources, and sometimes some of them are arrogant about it. It's not time that we have to do it. We have to do it, and we have to do it in a way and manner that we speak loudly to them. Because if you were to listen to the James Papa Kule, the Thomas Guy, and all those things, the only thing they were loud on talking about corruption, then it was because they needed to fit into the system. But if you fit into the system and now the same thing is unfolding, it's a problem. Why is it we're not hearing this kind of thing in the Liberian Senate? Why only the House of Representatives these things are coming about? Why? You know, so it's true. If it is true that the guy trying to get some at a line that is want to threaten the guys to give that 40K to them, oh yes, then they're going to use that as a Trump
maybe
card.
the Liberian Senate people distributed their own accord, so no noise from there.
But there have never been noise there before. So I mean,
That's what I'm saying. They behave maturely when it comes to stuff like that.
Yeah. So you know,
what are you supposed to get? Even
unlike the House, you know,
our business.
When you unfolded that time, then you listen to the former speaker too. He said there's a room 1026. What is it? How nonsense. So, and the former speaker, he knew about that room 1026. He didn't tell the people until he was in battle before he came out to say those things. You know,
you didn't talk about it until when they were to removing it. That's the time you talk about it.
He came and said there's a room called 1026. That was total nonsense. He said that day. You know, sometimes we ought to be frank and come out to say some things that are just glad. I didn't support the action against to remove it. But if you come out and now want to say there's a particular room that the guys will go to do different budget discussion, and I admire, in other words, though I'm saying it was nonsense at the time, but I admire his bravery not to come up. Now he came up because he felt he was already down, so he wanted to put everybody down. So the kind of thing, we're not ready to heal you for that. But at least eventually the people got to know about it. The last time I was going, when I went to Boulevard, going upstairs, up the rooftop there, we had some meeting. And then I was passing, I saw when I reached to the other area, they said room 1026. I'm going on the floor, then you see it. I really want to go see the room, so I went back. So this is room 1026.
The not give me a big. You want to say history.
Honestly, or not. The only thing I didn't do that day, I didn't take, and I wanted to do it, but no, I was there to help me, and I was not want to stretch myself to say I'm taking selfie. But when I saw the room number 10, I said, oh, so that room.
The famous room, yeah.
I didn't remember what I'm talking about. 1026.
Yep.
But he didn't talk about 1026 all through.
All through. He never talk about it.
And he knew 1026. And those men also said that he used to go to 1026 and instruct them how to do 1026. And it's true, they will exclusively take that room 1026. They will meet. That room was reserved for them. 1026. I don't know if they say reserved under the new leadership.
Wow.
But I'm told they say 1026 already cursed. So not the 1026 now. I'm told they went for 2026. The job was one step up, you know. So, you know, it just that's on the first floor. It's just unfortunate. And too many another thing they are using here now. And I don't know if this is a mark of blackmail. I don't think it's a mark of blackmail. They emphasize on things here.
Somebody
mute, please. Yeah. They emphasize something here and say, as part of the action, the lawmakers have resolved, Tomalin, this to you, they are resolved to initially boycott the president's upcoming State of the Nation address, the SONA. They have also agreed to deny Speaker Kun a quorum in future sitting of the of the House of Representatives. So they are not only basically saying they're threatening now in few weeks from now. That's in the next almost 5 weeks from now.
It comes to money business now, so they're taking action.
They say they will push to disrupt the president's sooner, and they will move to deny the current speaker the necessary quorum that he requires to conduct legislative business. This matter is very serious, as we're saying here.
Yeah, let me say this, right? The problem, the challenge we have is this. If this removal is not sanctioned by the executive branch, they should forget it. They won't succeed, because you need to fund it. So, and you all know that it's no secret that the executive were part of the removal of Speaker Kofa, and that funding came. That funding came from somewhere. Okay, some people were involved. So, but now with this one, this deal have been ratified. You can't de-ratify it now. You don't have the votes to do it. It passed. So now all they got to do now, just maybe disrupt by not reporting for session. They're always undermining the quorum, so that they won't have quorum, and so the business will not be able to carry on normal business. But I don't see them succeeding, except where, I repeat, except where if the executive branch is involved, then they must succeed, because they'll get the funding will come from that end. But with this deal ratified and so forth, everybody got a mouth. Everybody mouth going on. What you gotta do now? Negotiate now. Say, "Mommy, you're permanent. You'll give my share. I give my share right now." Other than that, it will just be wasting the time, because if the speaker and the deputy speakers enjoys the confidence of the president, the vice president, I don't think they will even succeed. They will reach that far.
But too many. I'm sorry, I'm not cutting up. It's not an issue about enjoying the confidence of the president thing. I've been around for some time now to understand there's a politics back in the country. I know you understand the same. So yes, if the speaker enjoy the confidence of the president and the vice president, and the rest of the guys are not happy and they're not giving them nothing, they can move to get him out. That I know.
But
so the executive will have now to play the role for the speaker to give what those guys are requesting. If you don't give those guys the money they're currently requesting, they're going to cause some trouble for the speaker and his deputy speaker.
But Neo-Pro, all I can tell you what will happen, they remind you now, they will fracture their alliance. First they will go to one person and say, "Look, my man, don't join the guys. That's on here." And Ajada will start doing it. And then
eventually you gotta get a good number of them, so that you can swing the ability of them removing the speaker.
No, most of the guys right now, as I said again, most of the guys are up for re-election. But all of them, everyone says yes, they get removed. So all of them up for re-election. So right now, some of them vulnerable. So and the last thing I want to do is that the find out that they especially those who but members of the CDC that took part in the removal of speaker, most of them are vulnerable. They're planning out to either run on UPTK, because I only hope they got. But if the CDC is so right now, the way how they removed Kofa, they had resources, they had the backing of the executive branch. So as a result, they were easy to do it. But this one, it's a long haul, because all of them will join. Somebody was asking, think about the session, yeah. Because they will start doing it one by one. I call you, I take care of you. You back. That's they say, the majority decreasing now. That will happen. So
that means they have to find money to start buying the man off.
Yeah, but
they don't have the spine to do that. They will settle them.
They're gonna see how much strength they got. They will see it. If they find that the number is not there, I mean, they were not going to worry.
But Tomalin, let me just lately Rachel Kuhn has been passing, he and father have been passing bill without quorum. They didn't have the quorum, they've been passing bill. That was raised by a lot of people. I think they had less than the number of quorum they're supposed to have. They still passed the bill. And you know nobody gonna say anything about it because they're all in cahoots. The Senate's not gonna say anything about
I don't know whether they pass with all quorum. I mean, I've been seeing about it.
Yes, it was.
But
anything that is power with quorum, that's illegal.
Yes,
illegal.
They did.
And the Senate would not concur with it.
They were 37 in number. That point was raised.
So the problem in Syria is that if they did that, I mean, the problem they will face, as I said again, if the executive is not in favor of them, if not on their side, they won't make it. We have a very powerful presidency. Our Liberian president is very powerful. You see how the people can really.
Well, the executive is in favor, so you know nothing gonna come out of it.
But you think if the president just sent 3 bills for ratification and that he supports, and the jet passed, you think the president will want to remove the speaker and the deputy speaker now? You say
absolutely not.
So the people you associate what with them? What happened?
Yeah, absolutely. I know.
So, yeah, so that's going to be the issue moving forward on that. But again, you know, the number of those lawmakers that are going for re-election. I was just talking to one of the youngest lawmakers in the area, my own dear friend, Fofana and I had a conversation even just few hours before I left the country. We had some great conversation on that, and he's one of those that is very key. Also, he's a young lawmaker. He wants to see that coming back. So, but they will have to be very, 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 very mindful in terms of the intent, the way they want to go about it, because an attempt to go through this kind of a scam and push a law through the system that is done illegally, that's a serious problem. And our past government.
That's why our people movement, we are determined to disrupt the system. We are determined. The people's movement. You can say what you want to say.
You are who determined.
So are you to be honest with you, the country really need a new political dispensation.
People movement will disrupt
it. People movement, oh, the movement Martin Colley established.
Oh yes, that movement. Say what you want to say. That movement will come in with strong.
I mean, if the movement can bring the change, fine. We welcome it. We're looking for change for the country. We're looking for jokers here. People don't come with the Liberian portal. Whatever movement that would be intentional to change the life of
meanwhile, my Edelsu getting warm. My Edelsu getting warm.
Oh, your Edo soup?
Yeah, Edo soup.
Yeah, buddy. Am I dinner there?
Yes, boy, yeah.
Yeah, that's what's going on, my dear. That formula man you talking about, and all of them were in the majority group.
So the other one walking on our show here, and he was like, that he was going to stay in position. He the first one and now joined. He said he resigned from. He joined the UP. I said, hey, they got it. They got it.
I'm telling you, my man. Bella-driven politician. Bella-driven politician.
The poor Liberian people. All the constant they want change. When you put in there, they do different things.
So yeah, the people said tomorrow we have the Senator Darius Dillon will be our guest tomorrow.
Where you coming to?
On Wednesday, TCA we're having the scorecards. The scorecard will be given here. You can prepare with your names and your metrics you're using, and we'll have a debate for the 2 hour 30 minutes. Will be here.
Yeah, all right. Definitely knowing who I gave me my metrics to.
We'll see. We'll argue that point. We'll be there. We'll see.
We'll critique your metric.
He will be moderating, and people will make sure we structure him because he will not talk too much. He's moderator.
But
I've been talking too much. Just been setting the standard that we do.
Video?
And I'm not going to disrupt. Anybody issue about who the superintendent of the year or who is it. I'm inclined. I'm inclined to believe that there have been some very good jobs. There have been some good job done across the country. Nimba been doing some very good job.
Oh, yeah.
And the superintendent, and then I was trying to test you the last time, but on a serious note,
y'all went to the lodge, so Nima is doing well.
I see. I didn't. Let me clarify. I didn't go there.
The lodge,
but I believe that she's not only outspoken as superintendent, she's doing some very good job in Nima as superintendent. If you are to merge and just post or work with other counties, Nima is loud. The superintendent is not only administratively adhering to the principle of good governance, but she's engaging in some laudable and aggressive practice.
The revenue sharing.
Is she open to audit?
Yeah.
Is she open?
I'm told that the General Auditing Commission conducted what we call continuous audit, and the audit validation process is good. The performance audit orientation issue is also balanced. So in terms of and the system issue, she put into place good system and good internal control mechanism is also effective. So the internal control mechanism is effective. Your performance base is effective. Your validation process is effective, and in terms of administrative or is good. And
let me ask a question. Okay, if I'll ask the three of us on the three of you guys here, if you should be honest, very honest, right? If you're giving the grade to what grade you get the president and vice president? That's the tabulated official. I mean, give the vice president, the vice president, the speaker, deputy speaker, pro tem. If you are giving a grade, just because they're being in the news, the only you need anything much you can give the performance over the years, over the course of the year.
You mean grade from A, B, C, D, or F?
Yes. What you give it?
Let's say I don't know. For me, I will be very honest. The president
be honest. Take a policy here. Yeah.
The president's recent appearance, I would use that to their school here because he came to evaluate himself, to process himself. The president opened it to us that he got no message to tell the Liberian people. That's a slap in the face of anybody. I think the United Party people that were running on propaganda should be ashamed of themselves that their leader is dumbfounded.
He said he got nothing to tell us?
Very dumbfounded to not even understand if he got any message to talk their own arrest agenda. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate also for a leader to say he, as president of a republic, he doesn't know what is happening under his own nose. It's troubling, it's scaring. It's troubling for the leader to say he don't even follow what happened here in the country. He don't care. He don't listen to radio. He don't care about what happened to the Liberian people.
Yeah, I know who advised him, but
if you were to ask me to grade the president, trust me, I'll give the president a C minus. I'll give the president a C minus.
And prior to that interview, I would have given him maybe a B minus, but that interview brought his score down I would agree with Pewee to get him a C minus because he would have given him a B minus for me, but that interview Friday is like he just messed his scorecard up because he wasn't forthcoming in a lot of stuff.
What's he doing again?
But for me, and I will go with you guys, I think the fact that he indicated that he has no message, he cannot travel to the leeward counties because he has nothing to say to the people. Yeah. That is a clear indication that he has failed to deliver. Because if he had delivered, that's the message you are going to carry.
Yeah, he shouldn't have said that. I know who.
And you understand? No, and sometimes we blame the handlers of the presidency.
But this is a man with
there's supposed to be a readout. There's supposed to be a readout that the whole press conference is going to be going by. Maybe people will veer over outside of that readout, but there's supposed to have been a readout exactly what he's going to talk about. But you can't take the 80-some-year-old man and put him in front of a group of young, high-line progressive journalists and tell the woman, let the young woman just flow freely. That was wrong.
No, I don't think it's wrong. No.
You're not wrong, but even on social media, right?
There's a man that have been around for long. You should understand all those things.
For the fact that he even said about social media, look at you got the person, the head of the free world, Trump Trump is an active social media man. The man is on social media 24/7. And there's a man who 79-year-old, but the man said that he did Trump, most of Trump, that speech that Trump gave last week, he came on social media. He see what happened on social media. He see a post number dropping. He see what they're attacking, all the things happening. They all discussing him. He said, let me make that prime time speech quick. And then to add fire to it, a chief of staff, the woman get an interview that I don't know what she was taking on, and she destroyed Trump and Vance in that interview. But Trump said, Trump defending her. But she said the best interpreter of words, good and true. You get that kind of vanity fair, that kind of interview you gave, where you destroy your boss, throw you on the boss, he and the VP. And now they're running with it. You try to do damage control.
Yeah, damage control.
Yeah. So the media, for President Boga said he should be active on social media. If our President Boga communicate through Twitter. I mean, I don't call it now X now, X.
Yeah, X.
Yeah, control through that.
No, but I think he made a caveat though. He gave a caveat. Yeah. He said the reason why he doesn't listen to the ERBC because you wouldn't start listening to them if the folks at ERBC start acting like grown-ups. But here's the question, here's the problem. If you feel that the people at LBS are not doing a good job, they are fighting them on themselves.
Oh, he said that?
Yes. I will only listen to them if they start acting like grown-ups. You understand?
You don't control it. You have a board chair.
But who appoint those are there?
Who appoint those people?
It's no secret that Fagon and Hassan Kehleboe they're not on good terms.
So what do you do? You remove them.
Fagon and this guy on one side, Diplo on one side, and then
it's not Hassan Kehleboe. From what I'm getting, even Alexander Anwar out of the girl is that our first appointed first when the whole thing started, they appointed her deputy. He pushed because he didn't want her to come over administration, all those things. He pushed for that girl and the rest of that. Fagon is a domineering kind of a character, and he believes he's insecure about the kind of a improper way he's managing the place. So he believed that he wanted to come out and bring some puppet master or puppet boys around him that he would just remote control and they do things and they cover those things up. He's not running. LBI is an area that, listen, I missed the late Sylvester Johnson, right? When he's headed that play before, he was one of those persons that brought some level of open civility in that institution. Listen, we all are people that have to concentrate and focus more or less on the way we want to see things.
The president said the people can cost you know what costing too?
No, he said he will only start listening to them when they start behaving like.
How about social media?
Oh, you talking about social media? No, I didn't listen to that one. But for LBS, he said he will only start listening to them if they start acting like grown up. Now, here's the problem.
If it's true that he said that people can cost, you don't follow because of costing, then why the main ocean probably another day? That was not good PR for him.
Yeah, and you know,
you shake your hand for what? You shouldn't shake your hand.
And the president, I don't know, I may be wrong, but look, as a president of a republic, there are certain things you don't allow to happen in your administration. Number one, the Liberia Broadcasting System is the premier information dissemination arm of the Liberian government. It is there to propagate and spread government information to the populace. If the folks there can work together as a team, you remove them and bring people that can work together.
They did it at DEA. Yeah.
I don't understand that. And so that tells you that he's out of touch. The president, and with all due respect, he's out of touch. He's not making no decisive decisions that will move the country forward. Let's be honest.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, man, I had a grade for B for him, but then when I did, I saw that interview, I was like, nah.
I'll give him a C. Vice president. C. I will be generous. I'll give him a C.
How about the vice president?
The vice president?
Yeah.
But listen, if the president will say
the president gets C, the vice president can get B.
The vice president went, ain't try to go bring the machine in.
And the machine, where are the machines?
In they put that into for press control, bring press down. As the vice president, he said the president and down. I know about.
I will give the vice president a D, a serious D.
What?
I'll give him a D.
Presidency.
Listen. See.
I'll get both of them a solid D.
I'll give the vice president a
The vice president gets a D, man. The president gets a D.
What?
No,
that is a serious problem.
How about the speaker?
Oh, I want to F.
Even worse.
F. Look, let me be honest.
But why is that man going to get
Speaker Kuhn does not have the pedigree to be a Speaker of a House of Representatives for the Republic of Liberia. I said this from day one, from the time he and Fonatikofa were fighting to be Speaker. I went on Spoon Network. I said it. I said and I listened to him on Spoon. When I listened to him, I said, no, this guy does not have the pedigree to be Speaker of the House of Representatives. He forced him away, he became Speaker. And look at what he's doing. He can't even function.
People brought enough rescue money for Liberia. 150, that's not bad.
Pewee is a very cheerful giver. Gain credit.
I gave 150 and I say I brought rescue money. No, I just listen. It's me, right? I don't have it, but I love to share.
No, I said let rescue me.
I'm giving for the gas station. Nobody giving money in Liberia.
I am messing with you.
Listen, those Unity Party guys are angry. They are failing the system. They don't even get for themselves. They don't even get who. The guys don't have for themselves.
So the speaker are getting F. You're still getting speaker F?
The speaker get F.
I would
get solid F.
I don't fall in trouble, yeah.
They put them get a D minus.
How about deputy speaker?
Oh, forget it.
The deputy speaker F.
F minus.
And a pro tem.
If there's anything they call F minus, he gets one.
How about the pro tem?
She got a D from me.
Well, the pro tem is a little bit measured. She's a little bit measured. So I will give her a B. She's a little bit measured.
B?
Yeah, she's a little bit measured.
What a measure for that?
Because she's measured.
Measure on what? Because she get Basa team $5,000.
No, I'm not a Bazorian.
It doesn't matter.
And this guy, you're a Southeasterner.
Yeah, I'm a Southeasterner, so I'm not a Bazorian.
So from G2.
Yeah,
right?
but why a metric though? Because she's measuring what?
I'm just being generous.
Oh, okay.
Well, I think that's fair to.
So why you give her, Tomalin?
I get a C. Yeah, C. Yeah. I think. Yeah, but that when it comes to individual senators, it's different because some of them deserve more than C. Yeah, but we on Wednesday we'll break it down. But look, all I can say to my people, look, there's a season of giving. There with peace and goodwill towards all mankind. We on this solid in this season of giving. We should share with our brothers and sisters, those who do not have. There are people who today cannot even have a meal, and they are struggling. We should be able to be kind to them and share with them. I know some of them are some people are trickster, they lie, but pretend like they're suffering, but they're not. But you can know that somebody in need, you know. So let us share wherever you have, share with your fellow countrymen. I know all of us here, we have people back home that need our support, and we are doing it. We are to do it with them too. The widows might and so forth. But that's the season of giving. We pray that one of these days our country will rise from the doldrums of despair. And
you give me your closing, huh? Because I guess closing.
That shining seated on a hill, you know,
right, Pewee?
Where joy and happiness.
Listen, guys, we will be closing the show. Let me put it this: we'll be closing in 10 minutes. So basically, by 8 o'clock, we'll be closing. It's going to be almost 8 Eastern time here. So we'll start with we'll start the round of closing. It's the summary of all of what we discussed today.
Tomalin were already on the floor. Then you continue.
The president, the president. I'm going to say the president lighted the street lights from the ELV junction to the RIA and the.
The light reached the RIA.
No, but it's going to be done in sections. It's done.
So where is lighter right now?
The first phase is done. I don't really know where, but it's not the first phase done is from when you pass Jungle Farm coming towards the airport. That's the first phase. Wow. And the second phase is going to be done that way eventually. But the most terrible part of the road, we observed that when we were just a week and a half even coming to the airport.
I think that's where they're supposed to focus.
The most terrible part of the road is from the bridge and coming towards a power station, coming towards Jungle Farm and Ambush Curve, all the way almost approaching the Jungle Farm. Immediately when you pass Jungle Farm, the road is okay on that end. The road is projected. It's at a projected level, and beyond it being projected, it's terrible from there. And that's why when the president came from Cote d'Ivoire last time to attend the inauguration of Ouattara, the vehicle are moving at a very slow pace. The reason is simple. He's an old man as president of the republic. There are a lot of other things. If you were to push the president to do and the car go in one of those dish, boom, God forbid it'll be a problem. So that's the reason why you saw the security forces, the convoy moving on a very snail pace.
But why can't they focus on that part of the road?
And that's one of the things I congratulated and commended the president and his government for trying to bring lights on the road, because the road is dangerous. That's a death trap on that road. Those of us traveling, commuting from the airport to the city, or commuting from the city to the airport to catch our flights often. And the fact that we're going to be regular and back to back going to the country now, for some reason, we have to put and commend the government and put some pressure behind them to increase the road project thing, because the road is still far from being finished. I don't even know if the 2027 projection.
I'm sure they'll reach 2027. I believe.
Yeah, 2027 projection is going to be possible.
But so, in closing, let me say this: I welcome the president. President Trump called to the president yesterday. I welcome it. That's a good thing. It's a good omen that the president of the free world of the United States, President Trump, can call our president and talk to him on issues of bilateral and other relationship. That's good. I know the politics about it, because we're in a toxic political environment. So wherever somebody said today, I wrote a reps on it, I say it's a lie. It's a lie. AI quoted this. AI, I say ego. But that's our politics, The other side.
But the fact that the U.S. government has not denied that they haven't had that conversation, so it's not AI.
Yeah.
If it was not going to be true, the United States government was immediately going to issue a press release.
I agree that they call. And just that the only thing.
That's exactly what I told Seleke today. I told Seleke, hey, I've been in diplomacy, I've been around for some time.
It never happened to me. I called Pewee and I said Pewee said.
Well, and the Elon Musk thing was on the web. That one
I know, but like that morning when it happened, when I saw it, I called Pewee. Like,
it was on the executive mansion website as well.
He gave a few minutes. I mean,
this one is the president of the free. Yeah, the United States government, the embassy will immediately respond.
Misrepresent. It happened. So we just want to say yes, that's a positive thing for our country. We look forward to continuous relationship between America and Liberia, especially during the Trump administration. We pray that it will continue. We look forward. We're praying that there's MCC's money. We are being approved. Like the President Baga, he said maybe he ain't going to figure, but he said the money they're looking at least only that 300 more than that. We're looking at 500 million. Hope that money can come in 800 million. I'll be so happy for Liberia, because the next government, whether it is the Lanu government or the ANC government or the CDC government or the whatever government that comes to power 2030, they'll benefit from that money. We inherit it, so it'll be good for the country. And also an issue of the roads, the lighting of the country, of the highway, is good. That's happy for it. commend them for it. And then on issue of lawmakers trying to remove the speaker and the deputy speaker, I think is laughable. And for me, I really don't care, because what they did, they unconstitutionally removed the former speaker, and they were applying something. I think if they had to continue to do it, until they can come up with a law. So when Supreme Court issue one their ruling, they said there's something we're missing. If they can put that stuff in the law and say this cannot happen. You see what the Republicans did when they removed Kevin McCarthy. They knew that somebody could just come and they got Mike Gates, they did stupid and remove the man. So what they did they put in check for Mike Johnson, they put in a way that one person cannot do what happened to them.
Right.
So to remove Mike Johnson is very hard. Even though he's messing up, he's messing the caucus up. He's not treating the caucus good, but they can't just remove him like that. So I hope they can do it for our lawmakers too. So you can't just remove anybody because you feel like. So I look forward to watching them with eagle eye, and we'll see what happens. But overall, I pray that civil servants auto pay in Liberia. I hope they all took their pay, so tomorrow they can start enjoying the Christmas.
I thought I said the police if they pay yet.
Probably not pay, man. I know they pay. It will not be behind me. But also too, I want to warn you guys. I just saw the weather. The weather report just informed me 40 inches of snow will be on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So get ready. So prepare yourself. The winter gear. The snow, it'll be heavy 40 inches of snow from Saturday into Sunday. So it won't be easy. I hope you can get all your. So I get my arrow suit. I got enough.
40 inches?
Yeah, we keep me going for that whole time. I spent my tabasoye, so I just relax and eat up nation. I get my tabasoye coming. Now one. But anyway,
you got tabasoye coming?
Oh yeah, great show.
Where you come from?
From Maryland.
Where you go?
The great thing, too many George.
I'll tell you now.
Listen, I know the source of Tabasoye, so yeah, so I know the source of Tabasoye. So
Pewee, to your point, I see something here on front page that the senators expect disenchantment. You saw that?
I appreciate it. I submit.
Okay. Who's senator? Thank you.
The senators. Because you said that the kind of thing that the representatives do, it can't happen in the Senate. No.
I mean, if I've said that, Sarah, you got to understand that politics is not gospel. It's not in the church. Even in the church, we got a lot of things unfolding in the church today. I'm told a lot of things happening in church. Even the Lutheran church. And I want to think we'll have this part of the discussion tomorrow. I will take the first half of tomorrow, the first phase, maybe 30 minutes to discuss the issues that are unfolding in the Lutheran church. I'm a Lutheran myself. The current bishop of the Lutheran Church is involved into some corrupt practices, alleged corrupt engagement that have been indicted by the LACC, by the report coming out, the report coming out of the local community college. So I think the bishop of the Lutheran Church need to resign and resign immediately. We're going to start to have these discussions beginning tomorrow. That it is clear. If you have a bishop of a church, and that's one of the reasons why we always call on the bishop and those clerical or those prelates, if you will, to focus and pay attention to the work of God. You cannot be a bishop of a church in the country and you still want to evolve into getting government job. And then you're being engaged into some corrupt practices and the rest you're going to be holding on. So I think I will be calling on the bishop. It's important that the bishop of the Lutheran Church should resign and resign immediately.
Well, that's why the guys in Liberia now can't say anything because a lot of them are on board committees. The religious
it's unfortunate.
Yes, it's unfortunate.
If you have the clergy getting involved into working in government, I understand. And that's what the church is there to take the responsibility of the bishop, the pastor, and all those things. And we hereby be calling on members of the churches across in Liberia to begin to play a major role, because the church should be the one that would be the gatekeeper of the country. But if the church himself is embroiled in corruption, and then it's a difficult thing, then we're going to hold.
They were very loud during the weird government, but now you can't hear anyone on this saying
anything.
All of them are on board committees, so they can't say anything. They are compromised.
what we call it, on the bishop of the Lutheran Church to resign. And it's unfortunate that people will sit down and allow people that's supposed to be there protecting the society. They themselves now, they find it difficult to remove themselves.
Yeah.
This kind of things of being engaged of this and that in different corrupt malpractices, if you will. Then they want to sit and believe that you're supposed to be the church that should be the gatekeeper, the watchdog of the larger society. This is quite unfortunate.
Let me just close quickly, Pewee.
So close, please. I will be leaving.
Great show, as always. You know, a lot of things are unfolding in our country, and it's bittersweet for the most part. Bitter for the most part, because our people, the bread and butter issues are not, you know, solved yet. They are not even getting the bare minimum, and we see the this government is, you know, all over the place and dishing out money. Now they're talking about removing a deputy speaker and a speaker. Who cares? It's all about your interest. Your interest is what you're there for. So go ahead, care yourself, do whatever you want to do. You want bush on each other, you do what you gotta do. Because you're not there for the interest of the Liberian people. If it was not because of money being there, you won't be saying this. So the day you gotta get your money, Jenna, you'll close your mouth. So we got time for that. You want to do it, we'll just sit here and laugh at you. That's what we're gonna do. So, and I also, before I close, I want to say, hands up to my little sister, Safwa May Gray. She was invited to the Noka building, dedication, whatever it was, because that vision she started, and she made sure that it went through, it came to fruition, even though they lost the election. But the new guys that came on board, Mr. Laha and his team, they made sure they recognized. I want to say hands up to him as well. That's what you call professionalism. When somebody do something, you give them the credit. You don't jump over them. Okay, so I want to say congratulations to Safwa May Gray. She did a great job on that Noka building. Now we at least Noka has her own building, you know. So I want to say hands up to her. And President Bwaka, I will give you a D, a solid D, because you came on the air and appeared to the Liberian people that you are not in charge. And definitely you are not in charge. For you to come on here and tell us that the FOIA agreement or the FOIA project rather is you were not in the know, and then even after you got in the know, there's absolutely nothing going on, no investigation or anything. We know it's all a cook-up story. That all of those stories were cooked up, they were made up to come in and vomit into the Liberian people. Liberian people are not stupid. They wear your lips, they saw the lies, and you know it's not gonna fly. I'm sorry, Mr. President, but that is, you fell flat. You just dropped the ball. I'm sorry on that. And I want to say congratulations to both governments for the road project, even though Seleke said we shouldn't be celebrating, but we will, because at the end of the day, it is what it is. We need a light to keep moving. Our people need those things. So we will give credit to where credit is due. Those that started it, those that continue it, will say thank you and continue it. Even the bad part of the road that people was talking about, they need to focus on that part of the road, because safety should be first in anything you do. Safety, safety, safety. If that part of the road is bad, and even the president convoy got to be moving slowly like a snail, that should be a priority. That should be a priority. Lights, and you know, it's not going to solve the problem. Fix the road so that the president convoy can move smoothly, the people can move smoothly. So I want to say thank you for the show. It was a great show. I enjoyed it. Thank you.
Wow, the progressive firebrand. What?
Yeah, CDC. Yeah, let me just close. I think we had a great show, but there is. I think last week we talked about looking at, and I'm sure that you guys are planning that for us to start looking at the national budget. And I think I posted a comment in our chat for us to start looking at it based on the government's arrest agenda. But something caught my attention today. The journalists that went to the press conference with President Joseph Boakai, after the press conference, they were given a Christmas gesture of $100 each. Some of them refused it. Some of them took it. And there were a lot of statements that I read that they refused it because some of them said that, well, Apparently, they wanted more. They didn't get more. Some of them felt that it was an insult for them to get $100 from the president. And I'm shocked that up to now.
Yeah, Mr. Let me hold you because someone just where did he get that information that someone refused it?
It was posted on Facebook. It was
I want to
posted on Facebook.
I want to need to put I refuse it.
It was posted. I read.
Maya explain that, Pewee.
From our source, and Maya explained it well. Maya said,
Maya explained the story here.
Maya said the red. Someone said they didn't want, but they all took the money.
They wouldn't tell you.
They all took the money.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to make here is
the money was increased from $50 to $100.
Why will you write about it? It is unethical. They shouldn't have done that, and that's
who wrote about it.
Some people.
But those that read about it, they want to politicize it now.
Yeah,
it's not the government that wrote about it. No,
but
it is not a government.
At all
government. It is not a government that wrote about it. It is the same journalism that went there. They wrote about it. What I'm saying is
they all do that. They do that to all government institutions.
But you know, Mr. Sita, most of the journalists we have, they don't follow the ethical principle of journalism.
No, you don't do that.
You don't. Number one, journalists should not receive that thing about.
You're not supposed to receive anything. You know, gratis.
Okay. You see money, you're
not supposed to receive gratis. As a journalist, you are not supposed to receive gratuity because it creates the room for you to be compromised. But in as much as we know that we are in Liberia, and most of the media institutions, they don't pay their journalists very well. And so if they went to a press conference with the president of the republic and the president decided to give them a token, I think they're supposed to just either you accept the money or you don't accept it, and you come, you shut your mouth. No need to publicize it.
Yeah, can you close in 30 seconds?
Yeah, so we had a great show. I just hope that we'll start looking at the national budget so that we can discuss it. But we had a great show again. The president fumbled during his last a major press conference that he had. He fumbled big time, and the fact that he fumbled, he's out of touch with the Liberian people. So I was general at giving a C. Thank you very much.
Too many. 1 minute in closing, so we wanted to close by 8. It's past 7 minutes. I don't like to pass the time. So
the money closed already.
Well, great show.
Oh, he closed, right? Okay, he closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great show.
And I will not take no time. I will just say a great show tonight. We look forward to discussing more very important issue tomorrow with the Senator Abraham Darius DeLong. Delight will be here tomorrow and deeply looking into other critical national issues. We're looking at from a perspective of this year honor review. We're going to engage his personal role he played in terms of legislative responsibility to the people of Montserrat County. And I want to grill him. We'll intend to grill him or ask him some question about what the government have done and what the government feel in the year honor review and other things, in particular the Senate and all those lines. So we look forward to having a very friendly and interactions and sometimes the hard questions with the senator. And the discussion going to be, we hope they're going to be very respectful tomorrow. Honor my superintendentship tomorrow. I will.
You respect everybody's view now.
Honor my superintendentship. I will superintend the show tomorrow with all level of.
You're not gonna be sugarcoat nothing. Yeah, the fact is the fact. What's
I'm not. The fact will all be a fact. I'm not sugarcoating anything. I will commend where it's necessary to commend, and I will criticize where necessary to criticize. And so, but we'll be here tomorrow to ask.
And it's fair enough.
We'll be here tomorrow
to ask
question.
If you're asking a question, I heard that the movement that Martin Colley is doing is a branch of Unity Party.
That's not true.
That's what I heard.
But I tell you, that's not true.
We'll take some time.
We'll take some time. Brought the government to power.
Yeah, but at the early stage, he realized that it wasn't the mission, the support that it wasn't what it seems.
So why is Manikwali position on the government that the government is messed up?
Yeah, it's not clear that the government they're not rescuing. They're not going to rescue. They rescue all inventions. Now what happening? So
he agreed the government is messed up.
Yeah, of course. You see, every day is critical, but it's how you do it.
We take another day, hopefully after the whole season in the new year.
All right, guys. Have a good night.
The way forward. Good night.
Yeah, good night, everybody. We'll talk tomorrow. Bye-bye.
But listen to, did you hear the press conference of Seleke Kromah, the IG? He did say that this is a highly political case, did he not? So you don't take the partisans' word for it, you take the IG's word for it.
We elect on 85 irresponsible men, what happened to our country. We elect on 85 irresponsible men to govern this country, not to be very irresponsible.
Please place your left hand on the Bible being held by your wife, and you will kindly raise your right hand, sir, and repeat after me. All standing, please. I, Joseph Newman Boyka Sr.,
No secret now that your friend and former boss will be a candidate in 2029. With all of that you experience, all of that you know, and everything that you see unfolding in the country now, will you support him? Will you be part of the process? Will you give him the support? Do you think he can be a better president?
So why you want to bring political Benin in it now?
Oh, but you political you're political man, before you go out, very active.
I plead the fifth again.
Okay. When 2029 come and pass, then you finally leave. Mission is completed. Now what the rules of engagement? When the war ended, the guy said, the captain, the commander said, mission complete. There wounded out first. All men on board.
So this riot situation when it comes to country, because many times you notice that
If Charles Taylor is the problem, he will be out of here in the twinkle of an eye. And I say, let well-meaning Liberians come home. If we respect this constitution, a government formed in Accra is a violation of Article 1 of the Constitution. Let them come home. Let that government be formed in Monrovia.
On the broadcast administration, want to give the government like Pewee an ultimatum of 72 hours to provide a living ballot of the chairman of the Student Unification Party, or else there will be a catastrophic pneumonia in the Republic of Liberia. To arrest the chairman of the Student Unification Party, only because the government feel intimidated about the Vanguard Party advocacies.
The government got kept the road, small, that road, big road, all kinds of the place. I think the reason Joseph Baga will not do much because the old man, the papa is suffering. The papa loves the country, but he can't make it. The criminal there around him, they sophisticated than him. They are sophisticated criminals, so they can't make it.